from Wilmington, Delaware, number 14, Griffin Erdman. At forward from Blackfeld, Alberta, Canada, number 22, Miles Hillman. At forward from North Vancouver, British Columbia, number 89, Finley Williams. And in between the pipes from Rockville, Maryland, number 30, Jack Spicer.
The Sioux City Musketeers won the first two games head-to-head against the Waterloo Blackhawks, but this Blackhawks lineup tonight looks dramatically different than the Hawks who played in those earlier games. More on that as we get started. First, a timeout. Thanks for being with us for pregame coverage. The puck drop is next on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650. The Fan.
At Green Acres Storage, we can take it. Think of us as storage therapists. We provide clean, safe, secure, climate-controlled storage units in a complete range of sizes. Feel free to unload on us in our enclosed and heated load-in area. And ask about our Penske truck rentals and packing supplies. And feel better fast, knowing the storage pros at Green Acres specialize in not judging. We'll keep your stuff and your secrets. Green Acres. Because life is hard. Storage is not.
Right now, someone is having fun at Maple Lanes in Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center. Sure, there's fun for bowlers, but there's also gamers, party animals, and anyone who loves good food. If you haven't been to Maple Lanes and Cadillac XBC lately, you don't know how much fun you're missing. Then there's Kingpin Social, open with a full menu for lunch and dinner every day. MapleLanesWaterloo.com, 2608 University Avenue. CadillacXBC.com, 650 LaPorte Road. Have some fun tonight.
Since 2013, we've been here to meet the community's needs. This is Ted from Ted's Home and Hardware in Evansdale. In the years since we first opened our doors, the Cedar Valley has seen good times and some tough days too. Whatever brings you to Ted's Home and Hardware, you can count on us for experience and know-how.
Check out Ted's selection of tradesman quality M18 fuel power tools, the most powerful 18-volt cordless tools in their class from Milwaukee Tool, and available at Ted's.
Viridian Credit Union is proud to support the Waterloo Blackhawks and the Cedar Valley. Each year, Viridian invests over $1 million in our communities by funding grants, scholarships, donations, and more to support local organizations and residents. We're your partners in creating successful financial futures for everyone. Learn more about our commitment to community service at viridiancu.org/community. People helping people. That's the value of Viridian.
Blackhawks hockey on 1650 The Fan.
The Sioux City Musketeers with one more win than the Waterloo Blackhawks, but it is a 7-point gap between the two teams. The Musketeers have played a few extra games. They have some additional points from overtime and shootout losses. So the Hawks looking at a game like this one as an opportunity to make up some ground on one of the teams that they trail in the USHL West. One more time, here are the Coors Light starting lineups. For the Sioux City Musketeers, Samuel Urban in net with Ty Hansen and Owen Keefe on defense. The forwards from left to right are Ethan Gardula, Brian Nicholas, and Caden Shahan. Jack Spicer now 7-6-1 after a victory in Omaha on Sunday. In his most recent appearance, a 3.01 goals against average, his save percentage at 89.5. Michael Phelan and Nicholas Fascia are the starting Blackhawks defensemen. Finn Williams will open up with Griffin Erdman on the right, Miles Hillman on the left, as Williams is set to take the opening draw in just a moment. Jaden Kerr, Connor Brown, Grady Deering, Jakub Altricht are all scratched for the Blackhawks on this Saturday, all due to injuries. Kerr and Brown have missed several weekends now. Deering and Altrichter each were out of the lineup last night after the Hawks had hoped that they would play in Omaha. They expected that Altrichter would. He couldn't finish that game. Deering did not start it due to an injury before the game got going. Our referee for this one is Gavin Nieto. The linesmen are Bryce Fetzer and Craig Ford. Sioux City has gotten the best of the Blackhawks twice. This is one of two games that remains. The first two games were at Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. tonight, and then Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday, the Sioux City Musketeers will be back, and that will complete the season series between the Hawks and Musketeers for 2023-24. Nicholas and Williams for the opening faceoff, which is shot towards the boards in front of the Sioux City bench, driven up the wall by Keith, and bounced behind the Blackhawk net as the Hawks now get it in their own zone. Hillman lifting it out to center. The bouncing puck gets down to the Sioux City line. Ardman chasing after it, trying to poke one toward the net, and couldn't ever get any control of it, and then went hard into the end boards. A little slow to get up, but he is back in the play. Meanwhile, the puck is out at center with Keith jumping into the rush, handing it off at the Hawk line. Here's Shahan shooting. It deflects and goes wide. The leading goal scorer in the USHL, Caden Shahan, plays it to the right point. Hansen now for Nicholas there. Nicholas leaves it for Shahan, steps into the right circle, put one toward the net, stopped by Spicer, and then scooped to the end boards by the Hawks defense. Hillman finds it now left of the goal, has time, and Miles Hillman is going to start out for center. He's got a lane all the way to the center red line and brings it in fact into Sioux City ice, flipping it down into the corner on left wing, batting it at the feet of Keith, and the Musketeers get it back. Van Tassel back out through the neutral zone, cut off at the Hawk line. Here's the Hawks Thorson coming the other way, leaves the puck for Lindberg, left circle, shooting, and a save by Urban. He gave a rebound. Lindberg put it off the side of the net. Now he's got it again in front. Here's a shot by Thorson, then Mustard scores! Here come the Hawks! Waterloo just a minute and 9 seconds into the game. Waterloo in front on the goal by John Mustard, set up by both of his line mates, Lindberg and Thorson. It looked like Thorson was going to shoot there, and maybe that's ultimately what happened. But the puck came to Mustard with an open side, and an easy one for John Mustard, putting it past the left skate of Urban. Thorson and Lindberg on the assists, and Waterloo with an ideal start to this one against an opponent that got the better of them with a huge first period the last time the teams met, and the Hawks have it into the offensive zone again. Mustard shoots, Urban the save. Rebound glove down by Lindberg, out to the left point, and then back up the boards. Sent behind the net by Felicio, taken away by the Musketeers and cleared toward the line. It will get out to center with some help from Van Tassel. Miller, though, slows down Sioux City at center, and then the Musketeers would be offside at the Hawk line. So it's Thorson now for Waterloo, going circle to circle for Felicio. Out across the red line and sending it deep. It bounces around behind the Musketeer net, picked up by Court. Right of his goal has Kessler. And then to Martino. Giacomo Martino across the Hawk line. Leaves the puck for Court above the right circle. He steps toward the corner with it. Then behind the net for Martino, now on the left wing side, out to Pritchard. Rink wide, went off the toe of Hupka's stick. He bats it down into the corner, and behind the Hawk net, it's taken away by the Hawks. Butella left of the Waterloo goal, out to center. And it comes to the Sioux City line, brought into the zone by Kosiba. The play was offside. And we've got a whistle there as Kosiba drew the ire of a couple of Musketeers who were wrapping him up deep in the Sioux City zone well after the whistle. Not certain that everybody heard that whistle. Peyton Blair was out there and now goes to the Blackhawk bench. Blair in his first game, he was a draft pick of the Chicago Steel last spring and played at Centennial High School in Blaine, Minnesota, near Blaine, Minnesota. Had a really good season last year, but got hurt and did not make the Steel roster as a result. The Hawks able to pick him up without having to give up anything, and it's a nice pickup. We'll see more of him as the game goes. The Hawks win a draw, get it across the line. The shot by Bettini is gloved by Urban, and the Hawks have 4 of the 5 shots on goal that have been put on frame so far in this game, including the goal by John Mustard, his 18th of the season. It was just a minute and 9 seconds in. We did not have a whistle prior to that Blackhawk goal. 1-0 Waterloo. Face off at Urban's stick side, and the aforementioned Peyton Blair out there. And won the draw, got away from Kosiba and is poked out to neutral ice. Snapped back up the right wing glass by Fascia, and it goes deep. Retrieved by the Musketeers, and it missed Loftus, but the puck does escape out to center. Delaney finds it and volleys it back up the right wing. Boards Hawks get it into the zone. Kosiba's pass didn't find Butella. Blair poking at it. Now, Butella looked like he had it. It got away from him. Spun across the Blackhawk line and off the boards on the left wing side behind the Waterloo net it goes. And the Hawks will keep it moving with Fascia taking it and clearing it. Goes down into the Sioux City zone for icing against Waterloo. 17:08 left in the opening period. 1-0 Hawks. The face-off back beside the Waterloo net. It will be at the right side of Jack Spicer. Sioux City, one of the highest scoring teams in the USHL this season. They come into this game having scored a total of 151 goals. Blocker side face-off. Blair against Nicholas. Nicholas won it. Shahan sends it to the right circle. Hansen shoots, and a shoulder save by Spicer. The rebound bounced out to the neutral zone by the Hawks, who hurriedly trying to make a change. Hansen brings it back across the Hawk line, sends it diagonally into the corner on the left side, but poked away there before Nicholas could get to it. Fascia sent it back to center. The Musketeers regroup again, and they're offside at the Blackhawk line with Gardula receiving a pass after he was completely in the zone. The pass originating out at center, and offside is the call with 16:49 left to go in the first period. 1-0 Hawks. Thoresen, Lindbergh, and Mustard out there for the first Blackhawk goal, and back out there again, looking for another productive shift here in the early going in this one. Hawks got some help last night in the USHL Western Conference standings. More on that in just a moment. Musketeers get control. Shahan trying to go across the ice. Finds Gardula. Backpedals into the Blackhawk zone. Drops it into the slot. Good back check by Mustard to get it away from Loftus. And Mustard turns. Puck hopped on him, though, near the side of his net. He has to dally for a moment. Finds Miller. Now for Thoresen in front of the Blackhawk bench. Had Nicholas in his path. Goes across the width of the ice. And Mustard has to hang around the red line to find it. Now sweeps it down into the left wing corner. Retrieved by Loftus, gave it up to Lindbergh in front for Thoresen. Stuff attempting to save by Urban. It's behind the Sioux City net with Hupka leaning on Thoresen. Got the puck to Mustard, wraparound try. That stopped. Mustard trying to get it back. He couldn't. Thoresen did, but then couldn't move it out in front with Hupka in his way. Miller handles it now, left wing boards. Shakes it up the wall. Mustard settles the puck. Back for Miller, just on the blue line. Miller up the wall for Lindbergh, turning in the left wing corner. Cut off by Hupka. Has an outlet to get it back to Mustard. Comes up the boards, knocked down by Shahan, who's going to get a penalty. Lindbergh trying to drop it out to the line. The Musketeers touch, the whistle sounds, and the Blackhawks go to the game's first power play. Mustard tripped up by Caden Shahan. And with 15:45 left in the first, the Blackhawks leading 1-0 and looking for more. Hawks fifth on the power play, but the percentage has been sinking over the last half dozen games or so. 26%. The Sioux City Musketeers are fifth on the penalty kill at just below 80%. It'll be Finn Williams with Griffin Erdman and Teddy Townsend. Mustard stays out there to man the left point, and Nick Fascia is the lone defenseman for this first power play look at the game. The Hawks had just one power play last night against Madison. They did score, though, in a delayed penalty situation in the second period. Williams wins the draw back to Mustard. Touch pass Fascia. Right wing boards up the wall, and Townsend. Townsend back for Fascia. Scoots toward the high slot. Wrist shot wide of the net. Comes off the end boards. Hansen and Townsend after it. Townsend won the puck to Williams in the right wing corner. Then back to Townsend near the line. Townsend does a full turn, keeping the puck away from Kessler. Now to Fascia. Then to Mustard. Left point. He shoots. It's blocked and goes out of play. 15:23 left in the first period. Last night in the USHL, not only did the Blackhawks get a win, Sioux Falls lost to Fargo, Tri-City lost to Des Moines. The Blackhawks pulled 2 points further ahead of Tri-City in the race for fourth, and to within 1 point of Sioux Falls for third. And the Hawks with a lot of games in hand on the Stampede, starting to look more and more at the standings and those games in hand numbers as well as the points. Another face-off win by Williams to Fascia, left point, then for Erdman. To Mustard on the left wing boards, back to Erdman, now Fascia. Deep slot, wrist shot, deflects, goes wide, comes off the end boards. Williams a stuff attempt, and that was broken up with a good defensive play there by the Sioux City Musketeers' Joseph Mentz. The Musketeers clear it, 40 seconds gone on the Blackhawk power play. 1-0 Waterloo, 5 minutes into the first period. It's Fascia out through the neutral zone, leaves the puck for Mustard. He speeds through center and crossed the line just onside for Williams, right circle. Williams curling towards the wall, drops it back. Fascia, right point, then up the boards, and Townsend out to Fascia one more time. Sets up Mustard, then back for Fascia. Half slap shot, save, rebound. Poked at. Hawks couldn't get it on frame. Now Erdman turns and shoots, and that may have hit Williams and went up and out of play. Erdman knew that the netminder Urban was down. He wanted to get a shot towards the net. Had a little bit more time and space, I think, than he realized, and ended up sending that one off of a Musketeer stick. So the Hawks will change power play units. Now it's Lindbergh, Hillman, and Thoresen with Felicio and Miller. And the draw is taken by the Hawks. Hillman tapping it back to Felicio. Then to Thorson. Comes off the right wing boards. Sweeps it back for Felicio. That had too much on it. And it slides back down into the Hawks zone. 40 seconds left on the Waterloo power play. Spicer will let Felicio come from behind the net. And he weaves out to center. Leaving the puck in the neutral zone for Thorson, then for Lindbergh, now to the line, and Hillman, who had 2 goals last night, including the game winner. Hillman missed Felicio, turning and trying to drop it back. He was under some pressure. That was off the mark. So Spicer comes out of the net. He's going to play it himself up the ice. Lindbergh turns into the offensive zone, knocked off the puck, but Thorson carries on. Gavin Thorson goes behind the Sioux City net, then for Hillman with 15 seconds on the power play. Back to Thorson, now Felicio, right point. Thorson one more time, backpedaling into the right wing corner. A Musketeer falls down, but then Thorson's pass is tipped away from Felicio, gets out to center, taken to the Blackhawk line by Pritchard. Felicio did just enough to stall him, and the Musketeers could not get a chance, and now the Sioux City penalty time is over. The Hawks 0 for 1 on the power play, but leading 1-0. From the neutral zone, Strand backhands it down into the right wing corner. Martino pursuing, jostles the Hawks Reed, and Carson Reed comes off the check. Hawks find it, can't clear. Held in right point by Court. Fed it ahead for Martino. Then to Strand, but he's cut off by Nyes. Pritchard picks it back up for Sioux City. All this happening at the left-hand side of Jack Spicer. Pritchard turning, working it back out toward the right point. Court chops it across the ice for Keefe. Former Muskegon Lumberjack plays it down toward the left wing corner. It scoots behind the Hawk net. Broken up there by Morick, then knifed away from him, but no one in the Sioux City sweater able to recover it either. Morick finds it, and the Hawks have it in their own zone with Nyes turning, spinning it behind the net for Reed. Under some pressure, just knocked it away from Martino. Hawks fail to clear, though. Court gets it back, drops it out toward the line. Now it's Martino along the right wing boards, coming across the slot with a pass for Keefe, left point. Back for Martino. Keefe one more time. Centers one. He was looking for a redirection from Strand. It went all the way into the opposite corner, past the big forward. Musketeers have it again. Keefe moves in from the right point, does a full turn, and Keefe hanging on to the puck. Now hands it off to Court. He's got some room. Takes a wrist shot. Saved by Spicer. Rebound collected by the Hawks and cleared by Morick. 7.5 minutes into the opening period. 1-0 Waterloo. Sioux City with some significant pressure there. Now the Musketeers nearly mishandle it. They do end up giving it up, but the Hawks would have been offside, and now they are. And Erdman arguing that the Musketeers brought the puck back into the defensive zone, but to no avail. Timeout on the ice, 1-0 Hawks, 12:09 left to go in the first period. We're back in 30 seconds on the Courtyard by Marriott Blackhawks Network in 1650, The Fan.
Bugsy's Pest Solutions, solving problems, that's what we do. Bugsy's Pest Solutions, 239-2772.
Cockroaches are never a welcome house guest, and the over-the-counter sprays won't convince them to pack their bags. Evict those roaches with help from Bugsy's Pest Solutions. After an initial application, Bugsy's will follow up to keep those roaches on the run. 239-2772 or visit Bugsy'sPestSolutions.com.
Waterloo 1, Sioux City 0. The Blackhawks scored just over a minute into the opening period. Now, almost 8 minutes into the first. Face off in the neutral zone just outside the Sioux City Musketeer blue line. Hawks credited with 7 shots on goal, Sioux City with 4. Waterloo did not add to the lead with a power play, and that's our quick summation of what's happened so far in this Saturday night matchup. Nicholas against Williams for a face-off just outside the Sioux City line, and Nicholas won it back into his zone to Monaro. Couldn't advance it up the wall. It's caught up inside the Sioux City line, comes off the boards. Williams trying to get it into the left wing corner, had to turn back and drop it toward the line. Fascia now reversed it up the wall again. Then for Hillman, he shoots. It's deflected and goes up out of play. And with the puck in the protective netting, they will line everyone up at the right of the Musketeer net after that was deflected off of a defender. Williams will take another draw here, and Nicholas once again to oppose him. Brian Nicholas quietly having a really good season for the Musketeers. Top assist producing forward for Sioux City and ranks second on the team with 33 points. Hawks get control off the restart. And Williams from the left point, turning and shooting. That was knocked down. Williams finds it himself, though. Leans in for another chance, and this one clears the crossbar, hits the end glass, and Karam's all the way out to center. Chased by Shahan into the Blackhawk zone, trying to get a shot away. He missed the net as Fascia did just enough to tie up his stick, and that one was off the mark. Phelan now goes left of the net, missed. Fascia, stolen by Nicholas. He kindly gives it right back to Fascia, but then the Hawks again fail to clear. Held in and redirected towards the side of the net, and Spicer covers that one up after Nicholas tried to make a really quick redirection from standing right beside the right wing boards, just hoping that would find somebody, and Spicer was alert and got control of it for the whistle. Alexi Hutkachiro out there for Sioux City, along with Landon Gunderson and Easton Jacobson. Talking about a lot of Blackhawks not in the lineup the last time these teams met, but who are playing tonight. Those names were not on the lineup card for Sioux City the last time the Hawks were at Tyson Event Center. Cachiro with it after the face-off win by the Musketeers. Got it back to the line, then it came his way again in the right corner, but it's taken away by Felicio for Miller. And now Aero Butella getting it back toward the line. Couldn't advance it any further than that, and it's rimmed behind the Blackhawk net. Cachero keeping it in on the right wing boards for Gunderson. Taken away by the Hawks, though, and Waterloo fails to clear. A couple of those instances in this first period. Now it's Court in the left wing circle, making his way to the corner, then retreating back out toward the line with it. Sam Court had his pass deflect, still picked up by Jacobs. Right circle has Hupka moving in, and Hupka, a shot saved by Spicer, hugging the post at his left. Behind the Hawk net, Miller gets tied up with Cachiro. Hawks find it. Blair to Butella. Then brought out through the neutral zone by Felicio. Stick handles to the Sioux City line, dragging and shooting. Knocked down by Urban. Rebound spiked to the boards by Court. He and Blair lean on each other, and the Hawks win the puck back. Felicio turning and shooting, put it just wide. Recovered by Kosiba on the right wing boards after he made his Blackhawks debut last night. He misses Thoresen behind the net here. Court, though, forced to turn by Thoresen. Got help from Hupka. And Hupka for Jacobs. Puck rolled on him. Boy, it was right there for Mustard and just eluded him. Hawks dump it back in after it got to center. It goes counterclockwise behind the net. Court has to reverse it behind his goal as the Hawks put on pressure. Now it's Jeffress sweeping it away from Thoresen to Van Tassel, and the Musketeers do make it to center. Van Tassel in front of the Blackhawk bench, avoided Reed, moves into the left wing corner, tries to center, goes off of a skate, stolen by Reed. He sets Mustard free, coming out to center. Mustard into the Sioux City zone on right wing, steering toward the slot. He lost the puck, and Reed just couldn't get it to settle, and now the Musketeers counter. Kessler to the Blackhawk zone, spins it to Van Tassel, dropping it back. Jeffress misses the net, but Kessler finds the puck and goes to the boards on the right wing side. Works back out toward the line, chips a pass to Keefe at the left point, under some pressure. Batted it away from Townsend to Jeffress, couldn't center with Mustard in his way. And now it's flown out to center, but hits the ceiling on its way to the neutral zone on the attempted clear by Lindbergh. Timeout on the ice, 9:20 left to go in the first period. Still 1-0 Waterloo on a goal by John Mustard. We're back in 30 seconds on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free at US Cellular, so you can connect with all your family members this holiday season. You can even call your aunt, who always makes you talk to your cousin, who's a dog. Or, you know, maybe just send her a festive text. Get the gift of connection at US Cellular. Get any phone free today. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
We value human connection with fewer distractions. US Cellular, built for us. Visit US Cellular, located on Brandolin Boulevard in Cedar Falls, 4th Street Southwest in Waverly, and Planning Drive in Waterloo.
The Waterloo Blackhawks in the midst of a 4-game homestand. It wraps up on Friday next weekend on Pack the House night. And we encourage you to come out and support Tegan Damey. The game on the 9th, next Friday, against Green Bay. And if you use the Tegan Strong code when you order tickets from tickets.waterlooblackhawks.com, you'll get discounted tickets, and $6 from each ticket will go to Tegan's ALD Medical Fund. And you can find out more about that online at waterlooblackhawks.com. John Mustard has the game's only goal, 9:20 left to play in the first period. Face off to the right of Jack Spicer. His second appearance against Sioux City, his first start. He took the loss in relief on December the 8th. Ready for the restart between the Blackhawks' Reed Morick and Sioux City's Max Strand. And that face-off is won by Morick, swept to the line by the Hawks, but not out. Kept in, and now it's Keefe from the left point, sending one off the Blackhawk Townsend. It just missed the Hawks net. Martino out to the line, Hansen, then Keefe left point. Keefe sends it intentionally wide. It comes off the end boards, read by Phelan. Took it away for Townsend, back to Phelan, comes out to center. Goes up left wing, right under the stick of Bettini to the offensive end. Flipped it in front, too far for Morick, though. Went into the corner on the right wing side, poked by Townsend. Back into the corner for Bettini, trying to escape a check. Challenged by Martino, couldn't sweep it back successfully to Phelan as it was intercepted by Strand. Sent out to center, swiped by Fascia and flipped back into the offensive zone. Morick centering one in front. Bettini shoots, he missed the net. Great chance on the setup by Morick, just off the mark, and now it's behind the Sioux City goal. Musketeers put it up into the protective netting. Play stops with 8:35 left to go in the first, and then Morick knocked down from behind after the whistle, after he and Hansen had collided. And there was not going to be a penalty on Morick for the hit, but there might be for some rough stuff after the fact. With 8:35 left to go in the first period, Morick's going to get a penalty, and so will Owen Keefe. Penalties will offset, and it should set up the first 4-on-4 hockey of the evening. Cross-checking on Keefe, roughing on Morick. 8:35 left to go in the first period. Hawks have had the only power play in the game so far. Blackhawk captain Miles Hillman asking about the offsetting calls when Morick was flattened after the whistle, and that's what initiated the extracurriculars. Faceoff's going to stay in the Sioux City zone. It will be a 4-on-4 faceoff. Blackhawks did very well in 4-on-4 situations early this season. It's been pretty quiet lately when it comes to 4-on-4 scoring. There were a couple of 4-on-4 stretches in yesterday's game, but those were awash between the Blackhawks and the Madison Capitals. Lindbergh and Erdman, Miller and Felicio, and the Hawks win the draw. Miller at the right point to the left side, and Felicio above the circle. Given some room, but now Shahan comes to shadow Felicio across the high slot. Felicio turns, puts it across into the left wing corner. Lindbergh takes the carom, trying to avoid Loftus, and does. Comes out of the corner with it, then left it for Erdman. He turns, outside edge of the left wing circle, back out toward the top of the ring, trading spots with Felicio, stops quickly, now shoots. The low chance was tipped and went wide. Miller trying to get it back, and he does in the right corner, knocked down. Play continues. Erdman kept it in at the point, but then his pass is picked off, and Nicholas comes up the ice, 1-on-2, spins into the Blackhawk zone, leaving the puck for Court on the left wing boards. Erdman got back defensively to give him a hard time on the left half wall, and now Court goes across the width of the ice for Shahan, shooting off the glove of Spicer. It's picked back up by Loftus in the right wing corner. Out to the line, Nicholas. Nicholas banks it to Shahan. He overskated it on the boards, and Erdman tried to clear it. It hits Shahan, stays in. Erdman now sweeps it out to center, picked up by Felicio, backing down a defender, and has help coming. Felicio now takes a shot. Urban the save with his blocker. Lindbergh picks the puck back up on the end boards. Lindbergh waiting for some help, spun it in front. We've got a penalty that's going to be called. It's a cross-check, knocking down Felicio before Lindbergh got to that puck. And so the penalty on Sam Court will give the Blackhawks a 4-on-3 power play for 55 seconds. It will become a 5-on-4 situation when Morick comes out of the penalty box for Waterloo and Keefe returns to action for Sioux City. But a 4-on-3 power play now for Waterloo. And the Hawks will have Finn Williams with John Mustard and Teddy Townsend and Nick Fascia, the lone defenseman. Kessler to take the face-off for Sioux City on the ice with Hupka and Hansen. 7:29 to go, first period, second Blackhawk power play of the game. Williams wins the draw cleanly, back to Fascia, right point. Eyes the net from the high slot, gives the puck to Townsend, top of the right wing circle. Townsend back to Fascia, then for Mustard, steps in, tries a shot, it was deflected, flies to the end boards. Townsend trying to get it back, he couldn't, and the Musketeers, Kessler, with room enough to skate back to the blue line, going to come all the way to the Blackhawk zone, place it to Hansen, right circle, fed it in front, shot and a save by Kessler, and the Hawks fly the other way. Waterloo with an odd man rush here, led by Williams to the offensive zone. Center says stuff attempt by Mustard, stopped by Urban, left a rebound, but he covered it up as Townsend was poking at it. 24 seconds left, 4-on-3. Sioux City did get a good shorthanded look there. The Blackhawks at least as good a chance coming the other way. And so, with just under 7 minutes left to go in the first period, both teams will take a deep breath before the Blackhawks power play commences. Now with Lindbergh and Thoresen, Miller and Felicio. See if the Hawks elect to send Morick to join this group when he comes out of the penalty box, or if they want him to come to the bench and send out Hillman in all likelihood, who would normally be part of this power play unit. The draw controlled by the Hawks with Miller moving into the corner on the left wing side, to the side of the net and then behind. Miller comes to the bottom of the right circle, out to the deep slot for Felicio. Will Felicio sets up shop, sweeps a pass to Thoresen, back to Felicio, now Miller with a wrist shot. Urban the glove save, and he holds on 6 seconds till each team gets one skater back. Again, 4 on 3 for one more face-off, 6:40 to go in the first period. The next Blackhawks family 4-pack night when the Hawks take on the other team from the Sioux land, the Sioux Falls Stampede. $64 for 4 tickets, 4 check-a-pucks, and $32 in concession vouchers that you can spend on your favorite concession items. February 23rd, a Friday night, when the Sioux Falls Stampede visit Young Arena. Lindbergh wins the draw cleanly, and it's Felicio in the high slot. Felicio trading spots with Miller, and now each team gets a skater back. Felicio to Thoresen, then back to Miller. Now to the left point, Felicio, as Hillman does replace Morick. The Hawks on the power play for another minute. It comes to Thoresen in the right wing corner, then behind the net for Gavin Lindbergh. Back to Thoresen, then for Lindbergh one more time. Turns to the corner on the left wing side, shadowed there by Hansen, but got it back to Felicio at the left point. Right point and Miller now. Tyler Miller, then to Thoresen, bottom of the right circle. Thoresen trying to go across the ice. The puck was tipped and went to the corner, and Lindbergh with 35 seconds on the power play. Gavin Lindbergh behind the net now for Thoresen. Side of the net trying to center it. It was batted up and comes down on the boards on the right wing side. 3 Hawks in the neighborhood, and the Musketeers able to take it away. Don't clear though. Felicio knocked it down and held it in. Will Felicio to the left wing circle of Lindbergh. 15 seconds on the power play. Then for Hillman, he shoots and missed the net. Long Karam and Miller able to get there to hold it in. Now for Thoresen outside the right wing circle to the deep slot. Miller kicks to his stick, back for Thoresen, chipped it in front, loose puck batted at, and the Musketeers find it and clear. So the Hawks now 0 for 2 on the power play. With penalty time ending to Court, he's back to the Sioux City bench, and the Musketeers with 5 out on the ice. Felicio up the rink, gives the puck to Bettini to dump in. He had a good scoring chance a little earlier in the period. After it was dumped in, the Musketeers get it right back out. Jefferis sending it up the right wing glass, and it bounds behind the Blackhawk net. Jefferis chasing his dump in, his centering feed intercepted by Morick, trying to feed Butella, but Kessler read the pass and took it away. Now under 5 minutes left to go in the opening period. Hupka along the left wing boards, dashing for the corner, leaned on by Carson Reed. They cancel each other out. The puck slides free behind the Hawk net. Nyes trying to keep it moving clockwise. It stops and gets caught up, and Kessler finds it then for Van Tassel shooting. He missed the net. Long Karam, Hupka held it in. Sent it up the glass and behind the Hawk net clockwise for Kessler, waiting right wing boards. Kessler shadowed, knocked down by Morick, and the puck came toward the slot, knocked down by Nyes. Then he's knocked down. The Hawks don't get it out. Van Tassel drops it back. Kessler turns towards the wall on the right side. Kessler moves towards the top of the circle for a shot that was blocked by Butella. Recovered by Court on the left wing boards. Fought his way through a check, stick handling and wanting to center. It rolled up the arm of Spicer, and he is able to get it smothered as it was right near the goal line once it came down off of his right arm. He stops the puck and gets it frozen with 4:11 left to go in the first period. Coming up on Monday on The Fan, there's bonus Big 12 basketball coverage. You can tune in at 8 p.m. Monday night for a Big 12 game between Kansas and Kansas State as we get closer and closer to March Madness. Those conference games get bigger and bigger. 1-0 here. The Hawks on top with 4:11 left to go in the first period. Musketeers win a draw. Shahan fed it into the right circle for Court. He goes to the corner, drops it back now. Shahan at the right point, then left for Loftus. Deep slot for Nicholas. His pass goes off of a skate, lays loose, and Fascia finds it, spinning it toward the line. Helped along by Williams out to center. Hawks scored just over a minute into the game. No change in score since then. Townsend cut off, trying to come off the boards. He ran into Shahan, and the Hawks get back with Erdman. finding the puck, flipping it ahead for Williams. Gains the line. Williams going into the corner on the left wing side. Rolls it to himself off the end wall. Comes out and drops it back to Phelan, right point. Put one wide of the Sioux City net. Off the end boards, Shahan with it. And the league's top goal scorer able to clear it. And Gardula gets there. He's onside and he's in for a chance. And his stick was lifted by Phelan cleanly. No shot on goal as the puck went wide. Meanwhile, Erdman up the ice. Maybe a 3-on-2 look, but the Musketeers changing. They get some bodies to the ice as Erdman has to dump it in. The Hawks make a change. 3 minutes and change left to go in the opening period. As it's Court coming through neutral ice on right wing. Crossing the Blackhawk line. Stood up by Felicio. Goes behind the Hawk net. Tried to center it, and it was deflected. Stolen by Lindbergh. Trying to find Thoresen. Went off the blade of his stick. And the Musketeers stall the Blackhawks on the breakout, but Miller does the same to the Musketeers, trying to get back into the Hawk zone. Lindbergh takes control for Waterloo. Back to Felicio. And then for Thoresen, and he didn't see Martino there, having to watch that pass. Martino poked it away, and it stays in the Hawk zone at the right of Spicer. Now Thoresen and Lindbergh trying to poke it up the wall. Pritchard there for Sioux City, and the Hawks do get it out to center with Lindbergh on right wing. Against the Musketeer line, goes towards the corner, banks it to himself off the end boards. Knocked off balance by Keith. Now Thoresen steps in to find the puck. Dropped it back out Felicio. Then to the left point, Tyler Miller. Swatted it to Thoresen. It was at his feet. He couldn't get a shot away, though. And the Musketeers batted out to center with Hansen. Tripped up by Miller, and play continues as the puck goes down into the Hawk zone. And it's given up by Felicio. Martino the takeaway. Drops it out in front. A chance and a save by Spicer on Strand with 2:05 left to go in the first period. Musketeers bench really unhappy. They thought that Miller should have been called for either tripping or kneeing, and they're asking about that now from referee Gavin Nieto. 1-0 Hawks, 2:05 left to go in the first period. Jason Kersner, the head coach of the Sioux City Musketeers in his second season, lobbying as much for that call as he is for the next one when there's a close play. Hawks have had 2 power plays in the game so far. Sioux City has not had a special teams look. Musketeers over 30% on the power play. So they are a team capable of making the most of those chances when they're presented. Shots on goal favor the Blackhawks. 11 shots on goal to 9. 1-0 Waterloo. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the first period. Face off at the left of Jack Spicer. And the face-off won by the Musketeers. Jacobs turning in the high slot, flipped one to the boards on the right wing side. Brought into the corner, now dropped back. Jacobs getting the puck from Tuminaro. They trade spots, and they trade the puck again with Tuminaro now sending it into the right wing corner. And that's where there's nowhere to go for Gunderson, wrapped up by Morick. And now Morick knocked down over the top of the puck. Jacobs digging it out, dropping it back, missed his target. It slides back down into the Sioux City zone. Mentz challenged by Bettini, turns, finds the puck, and sends it back up the wall out to center. Nyes intercepts. Nyes turning to avoid Gunderson and flies it from the referee's crease back to the end boards. 1:20 left to go in the opening period. Joseph Mentz for Gunderson, touch pass, and Jacobs out to center, ran into Williams. That stalls the Musketeers near their own blue line. They'll send it to Cachero. Then for Jacobs, a shot and a save by Spicer. It popped away from him, but the Hawks had defenders back with the Musketeers changing. Now it's Fascia back to the red line. Sails one down to the end wall. Came off the end boards and pushed aside from the edge of the crease by the netminder as the puck is batted at by Erdman. Goes into the area on the right wing side with Urban. Ending up keeping that one alive in a dangerous spot as it turned out. Now the Musketeers roll it down to the Hawks zone. Phelan moved it behind his net for Fascia. 40 seconds left in the opening period. Hillman turning with it. Then to Phelan. Back for Fascia with some room on left wing. Sends it hard up the wall. Erdman waiting for it on the opposite boards after it went for a tour behind the net. Hansen took it away though. Couldn't clear. Fascia gets to it. And now it's between Erdman and Court. They bang shoulders. Kessler has it next with 20 seconds left before intermission. 1-0 Hawks. Here's Van Tassel getting it from Kessler into the Hawks zone to the side of the net. Poke check by Spicer, but we're going to have a penalty called against the Blackhawks as Van Tassel was slashed, and Sioux City do a power play at the tail end of the opening period. The call against Michael Phelan. It'll be Sioux City's first power play of the game. 31% on the season. third in the USHL. Blackhawks fourth on the penalty kill. It's a matchup of two pretty good and pretty closely ranked special teams units, both power play and penalty kill, whether you're talking about the Hawks or the Musketeers on the advantage. 1-0 Hawks trying to carry the lead to the first intermission. Nicholas wins the draw. Gardula drops it back out, right point. Hansen, rink wide, Shahan above the left wing circle. Back to Hansen, wrist shot, knocked down and loose near the front of the net. The time winding down, and before the Musketeers can get a follow-up, the period comes to an end. Some words exchanged between Hillman and Hansen at the 20-minute mark of that opening period. But the Blackhawks will take their 1-0 lead to the locker room. Hawks 1, Sioux City 0 at the end of 1. We'll break and come back with our first intermission update. We'll check on other games from around the USHL and more. But first a timeout. 1-0 Hawks on the courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
ConAgra Brands in Waterloo is currently looking for production technicians on second and third shifts. Technicians must have a 2-year technical degree or 3 to 5 years of experience as a machine operator, maintenance, or automotive technician. Starting wage is $25 an hour with a $1,000 sign-on bonus. ConAgra Brands offers a full benefits package starting on day 1, which includes medical, dental, and vision, plus a 401k with company match. Apply online at ConAgraBrands.com/careers.
The Courtyard by Marriott in Waterloo is the place to fuel your passion when you visit the Cedar Valley. Built in the historic John Deere factory, the Courtyard by Marriott is a short walk away from Young Arena, the John Deere Tractor and Engine Museum, and more. Visit the official hotel of the Waterloo Blackhawks. The Courtyard by Marriott at 250 Westfield Avenue in Waterloo's vibrant downtown offers a state-of-the-art hotel experience while providing more flexibility and choices for their guests. Courtyard by Marriott, fueled by passion.
Whatever your project and wherever you are, Karen's Print Right can handle all your printing needs under one roof. This is Blackhawks coach Matt Smeaton. From design to delivery, Karen's Print Right does it all. Forms or business cards for your office, invitations or envelopes for special events, yard signs, rubber stamps, screen printing, and so much more. Find all the details at karensprintwright.com, where you can also request a quote right from home. Karen's Print Right on Falls Avenue in Waterloo, and open online around the clock at karensprintwright.com.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at US Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not so smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Shop, donate, or volunteer to help Habitat for Humanity at the Restore in Waterloo. Whether you purchase or donate furniture, building materials, or appliances, you make it possible for families in Northeast Iowa to achieve home ownership in decent, affordable housing. Visit the Restore at 4107 Hammond Avenue in Waterloo, or check them out at webuildhabitat.org/restore. Help Habitat do more. Shop the Restore in Waterloo.
Day 4,294 of waiting for Domino's to finally put pepperoni in their delicious stuffed cheesy bread. 12 years of longing for a stuffed cheesy bread that's loaded with pepperoni.
Breaking news, Domino's just launched new pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread, and it's the perfect mouth-watering side for pepperoni lovers.
The wait is over!
Yes, it is, strange pepperoni lady.
The wait is over, pepperoni fans. Domino's irresistible pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread is finally here, and it's glorious.
The Waterloo Blackhawks play here. 1650 The Fan.
1-0 Waterloo. That was the score for almost the entire first period, and it did last all the way to intermission. The Blackhawks jumping out in front early against the Sioux City Musketeers, and Waterloo with that lead doing something that really hasn't happened in the series against Sioux City. The Hawks were playing catch-up in the first meeting. They fell behind 1-0. They fell behind 2-1, and then once Sioux City went ahead in the third in that game, they trailed the rest of the way. The Hawks did. And in the second matchup, Sioux City with 5 in the first period, and the Hawks really were wiped out the rest of the way. They got back and made it a game, but never got it back even after that. So Waterloo playing with the lead for that first period, something that had not happened at all in the games against Sioux City this season. 1-0 Hawks at the first intermission. Time for our first intermission scoring summary presented by Ted's Home and Hardware. That opening goal came at 1:09. The puck was behind the Sioux City net, and Gavin Lindberg got to it. Lindberg able to put it into the slot for Gavin Thorson. He made an extra pass, and it left John Mustard with an open side at the left of Samuel Urban. And Mustard able to tap it in for goal number 18 on the season, the highest total among the Blackhawks. Point number 34. Make it 35 now for Mustard with that goal. And 37 points for Gavin Thorson with his assist. And the Blackhawks' top two scorers both factor in, plus an assist to Gavin Lindberg. So at 1:09 of the first period, the goal Mustard from Thorson and Lindberg, and the score held the rest of the period. The Hawks had a couple of power plays, including some 4-on-3 power play time, which can lend itself to extra chances because of the extra open ice. Waterloo did not score. Sioux City finished the period on a power play when Michael Phelan got a little bit too much of a Musketeer looking for a scoring chance. That slashing call against Phelan will have Sioux City on the advantage for the first minute and 48 seconds of period number 2. So Sioux City still working through their first power play of the game. The Hawks 0 for 2 officially, and the two teams even when it comes to their shots on goal, both with 11 so far in the game. That's our first intermission scoring summary presented by Ted's Home and Hardware. Check out Ted's selection of WeatherTech floor mats, phone holders, and hitch-mounted bump steps. WeatherTech products are made in the USA and great for any driver. Available at Ted's Home and Hardware in Evansdale, where you can get help with your project. Stop in to see Ted and his staff. There to help at 3550 Lafayette Road in Evansdale. 1-0 Waterloo. Coming up, we'll take a look back on tonight's picks for players to watch and see how those selections are working out so far. We'll also, between now and the start of the second period, get you updated on the other 6 games that are happening in the USHL on this Saturday night, with the Blackhawks, 4th in the USHL Western Conference, taking on the Sioux City Musketeers, 7 points ahead in second and trying to make up some ground in this head-to-head matchup. It's the Hawks 1, the Musketeers 0. We're back after this on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
This hockey season, give an assist to local charities with the 1650 campaign. Each month, we'll tell the story of a different Cedar Valley organization doing good in the community. Make your donation of $16.50 at 1650thefan.com. This month's featured cause is the Tegan Damey ALD Medical Fund. The 1650 campaign, presented by Slumberland Furniture in Cedar Falls, the Waterloo Blackhawks, and 1650 The Fan.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Fit Pop Popcorn. It's a poppin' in Iowa. But many people don't have world-class popcorn growing in their neighborhood. Fit Pop is growing better right next door in Cedar Falls. Never fear, you can ship Fit Pop Popcorn anywhere in the United States. Think of those people who don't have Fit Pop Popcorn at their local grocery store. Send them a Midwestern care package from fit-pop.com. That's fit-pop.com. Fit Pop Popcorn. It's a poppin' in Iowa.
At Green Acre Storage, we can take it. Think of us as storage therapists. We provide clean, safe, secure, climate-controlled storage units in a complete range of sizes. Feel free to unload on us in our enclosed and heated loading area. And ask about our Penske truck rentals and packing supplies. And feel better fast, knowing the storage pros at Green Acres specialize in not judging. We'll keep your stuff and your secrets. Green Acres. Because life is hard, storage is not.
On air and online. Listen to Blackhawks hockey at 1650thefan.com. 1650 The Fan.
It's Waterloo 1, Sioux City nothing. End of one period at Young Arena on a Saturday night. And the first two games between these teams in a 4-day span. Sioux City will be back on Tuesday for a matchup with the Blackhawks. That's not one that's on your pocket schedule or poster schedule or even on your magnet schedule. It's a game that had to be shifted around. The backstory is that Waterloo and Sioux City were originally scheduled to play on February 18th. Waterloo needed that date, though, to play a makeup game against the Youngstown Phantoms because of the blizzard in the middle of last month. Youngstown not getting out this way too often. That's an occasion where they're relatively close, playing the rest of that weekend against the Madison Capitals. So Youngstown will now come to Waterloo on the 18th, a Sunday afternoon game, and it's Sioux City here on Tuesday. Tickets for that game available from tickets.waterlooblackhawks.com. 1-0 Waterloo, first intermission on this Saturday evening. Let's look back now on the picks for players to watch. I had three Blackhawks who've been at the top of the stat sheet when it comes to power play points. Well, they all had a hand in the only goal of the game so far, but it came 5-on-5. John Mustard scored it from Gavin Thoresen and Gavin Lindberg. Those were the players to watch. The Hawks, though, going 0 for 2 in that first period on the power play. And now, dating back to the weekend of January 19th and 20th, the Blackhawks are just 3 for 21 in power play situations. That does include a 5-on-3 power play goal against Fargo. So not getting the same sort of production that the Hawks were accustomed to earlier, but that group, the players to watch, all with the points so far in this game. On the other side for Sioux City, the players to watch: Tate Pritchard, Brian Nicholas, and Ty Hansen. And so far, among that group, no points, obviously, with the game starting as it has. Nicholas, 1 shot on goal. Hansen also credited with 1 shot. Pritchard does not have a shot on goal yet in the game. 1-0 Waterloo, first intermission at Young Arena. You're listening to 1650 The Fan, KCNZ, Cedar Falls, Waterloo, and broadcasting on K272GA at FM 102.3. A Koloff Media station. Will have more coming up, including period number 2 on the way. Before we get there, we'll check other USHL scores, some notes from college basketball, and we'll tell you what happened during the NHL All-Star festivities, which wrapped up this afternoon. That's all coming up at our first intermission. Hawks 1, Musketeers nothing on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
Right now, someone is having fun at Maple Lanes in Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center. Sure, there's fun for bowlers, but there's also gamers, party animals, and anyone who loves good food. If you haven't been to Maple Lanes and Cadillac XBC lately, you don't know how much fun you're missing. Then there's Kingpin Social, open with a full menu for lunch and dinner every day. Maple Lanes, Waterloo.com, 2608 University Avenue. CadillacXBC.com, 650 LaPorte Road. Have some fun tonight.
Since 2013, we've been here to meet the community's needs. This is Ted from Ted's Home and Hardware in Evansdale. In the years since we first opened our doors, the Cedar Valley has seen good times and some tough days too. Whatever brings you to Ted's Home and Hardware, you can count on us for experience and know-how.
Check out Ted's selection of tradesman quality M18 fuel power tools. The most powerful 18-volt cordless tools in their class from Milwaukee Tool, and available at Ted's.
Viridian Credit Union is proud to support the Waterloo Blackhawks and the Cedar Valley. Each year, Viridian invests over $1 million in our communities by funding grants, scholarships, donations, and more to support local organizations and residents. We're your partners in creating successful financial futures for everyone. Learn more about our commitment to community service at viridiancu.org/community. People helping people. That's the value of Viridian.
Buxy's Pest Solutions, solving problems, that's what we do. Buxy's Pest Solutions, 239-2772.
Cockroaches are never a welcome house guest, and the over-the-counter sprays won't convince them to pack their bags. Evict those roaches with help from Bugsy's Pest Solutions. After an initial application, Bugsy's will follow up to keep those roaches on the run. 239-2772 or visit Bugsy'sPestSolutions.com.
When it's hockey time in Party Town, the Blackhawks are on 1650 The Fan.
For the Waterloo Blackhawks, it's game number 37 during this 2023-24 United States Hockey League season. Hawks fourth in the USHL Western Conference and hoping to climb during the weeks ahead. A very busy month of February. Lots of games this month and lots of home games this month. 7 of them in just 29 days during this February leap year. The Hawks with a 1-0 lead on the Sioux City Musketeers. Second period coming up. 6 other games in the USHL on the schedule, 5 of them underway. All of them started at the same time this one did, except for the 7 o'clock start that I'll tell you about in a moment. But the other games are at the first intermission or start of the second period. Madison and Green Bay tied up at 1. Jack Brandt and Will Hughes, the goal scorers for the Capitals and Gamblers, respectively. In Lincoln, Justin Mexico and Jack Picard have goals for the Stars. They lead the Omaha Lancers 2-0. Hawks got some help last night from the Des Moines Buccaneers. Des Moines defeated the Tri-City Storm on Friday 5-2, and after one period, the Buccaneers have a lead again. 2-1 Des Moines ahead of Tri-City, including a goal from former Blackhawk Adams Linka, Liam Watkins, the other Des Moines Buccaneer goal scorer. The Fargo Force helped the Blackhawks last night by defeating the Sioux Falls Stampede, and Fargo is all over Sioux Falls through one period this evening. 4-1, the Force have the lead. 4 different goal scorers in the opening 20 minutes, and the Force off and running, looking for their 33rd win of the season. The other game that's going on right now, the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders have a 2-1 lead on the Youngstown Phantoms, thanks to goals from Eric Cald and Elliot Gronwald. And starting in just a few minutes after the top of the hour in Chicago at Fox Valley Ice Arena, it will be the Steel hosting the Muskegon Lumberjacks. In the NHL All-Star Saturday festivities, Team Matthews won the All-Star contest 7-4 over Team McDavid. And so the Team Matthews bunch gets the win. Brock Besser and Team Hughes fell to Team Matthews in the semifinal. College basketball earlier today, the UNI Panthers fell at home in Cedar Falls, 71-43 at the McLeod Center against Murray State. And if you're looking for Iowa State basketball, that game gets going soon as the Cyclones take on Baylor. You can hear that over on our sister station, cruising KCFI. That's 1250 AM, 105.1 FM. Women's college basketball in a game that you heard earlier on the Fan. The Iowa State women fell on the road at Central Florida, 71-66. At halftime in women's college basketball, the Drake Bulldogs lead the UNI Panther women 42-34. And the Iowa Hawkeyes visit Maryland in a game that begins after 7 o'clock this evening. 1-0 Waterloo thanks to a goal from John Mustard. Period number 2 will start with Sioux City on a power play for 1 minute and 48 seconds after a late first period slashing penalty against Michael Phelan. Shots on goal even at 11 during the opening period of play. The Hawks will be penalty killing with Miles Hillman and Gavin Lindbergh, plus Carson Reed and Tyler Miller. Musketeers power play unit is going to include 4 forwards, including the USHL's top goal scorer, Caden Shahan, manning a point. Brian Nicholas will take the face-off against Lindbergh. And period number 2 is underway with the puck controlled by the Musketeers. Strand got to the Waterloo line. Puck poked away from him by Reed, but Strand gets it back, trying to send it behind the Hawk net. It was deflected, now kicked and recovered by Shahan on the boards. Left wing side, batted one to Nicholas. Gave it up to Hillman, who puts it off the glass and out. 1 minute 30 left on the Sioux City power play. Hansen circles all the way back to his own zone. Leaves the puck for Shahan. And Caden Shahan gives it to Gardula, sending it to Strand, crossing the Blackhawk line. Back for Gardula, spins into the right wing corner, back out to Hansen. Hawks will have to watch if the Musketeers can get possession near the bottom of the circles. Sioux City likes to play it across the top of the crease and leave an open side. Now near the bottom of the right circle, Nicholas had it, but it hopped away. He goes to the boards to recover it. Back for Gardula, centers, broken up by Miller. Gardula has it back out to the line. Hansen sweeps it to the left circle. Nicholas gives it to Shahan. Under a minute left on the power play. Back to Hansen. Now Shahan one more time. Didn't have a lane. Gives it back to Hansen. Then to Gardula. Moves into the right circle a step. Back for Hansen at the right point. Hansen to Gardula. Fed one into the circle. Nicholas pass tipped. It comes in front. Knocked away from Strand. Then a chance, and it was deflected. Shahan found the puck, but couldn't put it on frame. And then it's jousted out to the neutral zone as Shahan was checked, trying to pass it back to the line. Hit by Hillman. And the puck goes down into the Sioux City zone with 25 seconds left on the Musketeer power play. A minute and a half into the second period. 1-0 Waterloo. Hansen comes out across his own line, decides to leave the puck, and he missed Pritchard. It slides back down into the Sioux City zone. Williams putting on some pressure, just making the Musketeers uncomfortable coming through the neutral zone. They've got time for maybe one more rush. Pritchard feeding it ahead. Martino into the Blackhawks zone. Had his stick tied up. Puck went behind the Hawks net. And now the Hawks back at full strength as the puck comes to Martino. Dropping it back. Corda shot. He missed the net. Rebound picked up by Jacob Delaney. He fires it down the length of the ice. The Hawks taking the icing call here. Although it's touched near the side of the net by Urban. Boy, what's the call there? Urban stopped the puck with his goal stick as it caromed his way coming out of the corner. Yes, the Musketeers were going to win the race to the puck, but Urban touched it well before the whistle. Linesman Craig Ford talking about it first with referee Gavin Nieto, and now they'll involve Bryce Fetzer as well. And the Blackhawk bench eagerly awaiting. They're going to move this draw back down into the Sioux City zone. You can't blame Urban for stopping that with his goal stick, but I've never seen a goaltender stop a puck at the side of the goal, and then the defenseman takes another 3 or 4 strides to get back to the imaginary line between the face-off dots, and then the icing whistle sounds. The icing call negated after the officials discussed it, and the face-off will be at the right of Urban. Again, you can't blame him for stopping the puck with his goal stick. You don't want it bouncing around the crease, but at the same time, that negates the icing call. Musketeers win the draw. Jacobs out to center, steers it down to the Hawk line. Nice cutoff by Reed. He got there, then tried to clear it back out to center. May have hit his own man. That allows the Musketeers to keep it in. Played into the corner by Kachiro, who then finds it there. Alexei Kachiro came off the boards with it, lost the puck, trying to move it through the circle. Hawks take it away. And Bettini, as far as the center red line, golfing it down into the left wing corner for Morick to pursue. And Morick wins the puck along the inboards for Butella. Shakes it out towards Bettini, never got to him. Morick gets it back though for Miller. Steers it clockwise below the icing line for Butella, then for Bettini behind the net, chasing with Court there too. Court got there first to Jacobs, he clears. This could be icing against Sioux City, and it is an uncontested icing call against the Musketeers with 17:08 left in the second. Hawks ahead 1-0. And that lead has held since the Hawks got the game's lone goal, 1:09 into the first period. Sioux City with one shot during their power play. They now have 12 in the game. The Hawks with 11. Face off to the left of Urban. Lindbergh, Thoresen, and Mustard back to the ice looking for something more than they already have. With that group entirely responsible for the lead, Hawks win the draw. Mustard a shot, Urban the save. The Butterfly stop holding on at the top of the crease. As Mustard received that puck at the edge of the right circle, and then two was able to get across unaccosted into the high slot to create that chance very quickly off of Lindbergh's face-off win. Lindbergh wins another one Mustard's direction. This time he gets it back to Felicio. Now Miller right point. His shot tip comes to Thoresen, turning, and he didn't get anything on a chance as he spun it toward the net. The Musketeers able to send it to the Blackhawk line just onside. Brought into the left wing corner, stopping there. Van Tassel trying to keep the play alive. Gets a little bit of help. It's sent behind the Hawk net for Kessler. Comes out into the right wing circle. Kessler leaving it. Right wing boards for Keith. Drops it off towards the high slot. Missed everybody, and it slides down into the Sioux City zone. Hansen back to retrieve it, chased by Thoresen. Hansen plays it up the boards. Jeffers able to get it, and then the puck cleared just across the line out to center. Musketeers help it along. Phelan breaks up a rush. Lindbergh now turning Thoresen loose for Mustard, crossing the line. Got around one defender and then tried to backhand a pass to Phelan. Didn't find him. Hawks nearly take it away in the slot. Can't get control of it. Thoresen now along the left wing boards. Rims it behind the net for Mustard. Ran into Keith though, and Keith has it back for Hansen. Flying one out through the neutral zone. This could go for icing as Phelan gets back, and it is an icing call against Sioux City. 16:03 left in the second. Still 1-0 Waterloo. Tickets.waterlooblackhawks.com, the only place to order Blackhawks tickets online. If a search engine sends you to another site, there's a good chance you'll be seeing very limited availability and large added online order fees. So get your tickets by going directly to tickets.waterlooblackhawks.com for the best price and selection. After the icing call, the face-off won by the Musketeers in their own zone. Hansen to Jeffress. Has some time right of his net and sends it off the opposite wall down toward the Blackhawk line. Batted into the offensive zone by Van Tassel. Knocked down by Reed, who takes the puck in his own zone. And Carson Reed tripped up. Penalty's going to be called as Reed has his left skate pulled out from under him by Kessler. And the Blackhawks do a power play for the third time. It wasn't much, but it was an obvious call, and it had to be made because Reed doesn't go down if Kessler doesn't take his foot out from under him. The Blackhawks hoping that the third time is the charm. Waterloo only had one power play yesterday and did not score on it. They've not had a lot of volume over these last half dozen games. Trying to generate a chance here to make it a multi-goal lead. Face off the stick side of Urban. And this draw goes to the boards on the left wing side. Mustard finding it. Trying to keep it away from Hupka. Erdman there to help out. Erdman moves to the side of the net, then behind. The boards on the right side. Townsend back for Erdman, missed him, but Williams collects it off the end wall. Williams moves back to the edge of the right circle. Down to the line, and Townsend up the wall, and a pace or two. Now steps into the circle, drops the puck back to Felicio. Rink wide, Mustard, left point, side of the net. Here's Williams spinning it in front. It went through everybody. There were players in both colored sweaters that missed all and went down into the Blackhawk zone off of Karam. 1:25 left on the Hawk power play. Fascia will let Mustard tote it through the neutral zone. Gives a head fake, crosses the line into traffic. Stick handling, got a shot away, saved by Urban. Rebound to the end boards, and the Hawks find it with Erdman. Getting control to the right half wall. Steps into the circle, now turns back to the corner. Surveys, plays it below the icing line to Williams. Finn Williams back to Townsend, right wing boards. Townsend had his pass go off of Erdman's skate. It rolls out to center. Mustard finds it there. Turns and taps it back to Williams, stepping in on left wing. Williams trying to center one for Erdman. It came back to him now for Erdman, trying to stuff it through, and the puck is free, picked up by Williams. Back to Felicio, shooting. Missed the net. Comes off the end glass. Miller tracking it down right wing boards. 40 seconds on the power play. For Townsend, then back to the high slot, and Miller put it into the left circle for Williams. Cut off and has to turn back toward the wall. Williams just off the boards, centered it, and it went through Townsend. Skates picked up by Felicio, shooting. That missed the net. And Miller hustling, gets there now at the left point to seal the wall and keep it in. For Felicio above the right circle. Felicio back for Miller. Hawks are changing. Hillman picks up the puck, steps into the left wing circle. Side of the net, then behind with 15 seconds on the power play. Into the right corner, Thorson. Back to Felicio. Now for Miller, left point. A lot of room. He steps in and shoots and scores! Here come the Hawks! Tyler Miller on the power play, low to the glove side of Urban. Sustained pressure, the Hawks able to make a change and keep the puck in the offensive zone. And Miller given way too much room. Stepped from above the left circle to below the dot by the time he let go of the shot. And Tyler Miller gives the Blackhawks a 2-0 lead with the power play conversion. Waterloo now 1 for 3 on the power play. 6:06 of the second period. And Miller, the top scoring Blackhawks defenseman, now has 7 goals and 20 points this season. 13:54 left in the second, and the Hawks will try to follow up with Morick, Butella, and Bettini. Hawks win the draw. Nye slings a pass to Butella, coming across the line, sent one toward the net, steered aside by Urban, recovered by Bettini, left wing boards, but a Musketeer on either shoulder. He sent it behind the goal, and it was too hot to handle for Butella. Taken away, and Keith clears. Knocked down at center by Reed, but recovered then in short order by Strand. Crosses the Blackhawk line for Pritchard, then Hansen trailing the play. Swept off of his stick by Morick, recovered by Martino. Leaves it along the boards on the right wing side. Hansen collects it for Sioux City. Back toward the line for Keith, taken away by the Hawks, who come out maybe with an odd man look here. 3-on-2. Morick over the line for Nyes, jumping into the rush. Then back for Morick. He shoots, and Urban got a piece of it. The goal light goes on, but the puck never went in. Keith to Hansen coming up right wing. Steers it into the corner on the right wing side of the Blackhawks zone. Tries it to center. Intercepted by Reed. Strand wrenched it free. Recovered by Nyes. Reed behind the Hawk net trying to sweep it from there. Had Martino in his way. Gets away and finds Nyes. Then for Butella on the right wing side. He'll chip it down to the right corner, and the Hawks will change with 12:45 left in the second. 2-0, Waterloo with the lead. Sam Court, a big factor the last time these teams met. Gets to the Hawk line. Couldn't get it into the zone successfully, though, as Phelan chopped it away. And the Hawks, Finn Williams, turns back out to the neutral zone, skating parallel to the blue line the entire way before getting out to center. Then flipping it into the Sioux City zone. Mentz plays it behind the Sioux City net. Erdman throws a hit. That frees the puck up. Williams back for Fascia. Quick shot. Deflected. Nice redirection by Erdman, but a better save by Urban. And then the Musketeers had it. Failed to get it out on the first try. Gunderson checked deep in his zone. Mentz coming to try to help out. The Hawks take it away again. Williams now on the left wing boards with it. Trying to feed Hillman. The pass was behind him. It trickles out to center. The Hawks have to regroup. They get back on side. Williams fires one up the left wing glass. It bounds down into the corner on the right side where Erdman and Court collide. The Hawks get the puck on the boards with Phelan batting it behind the Sioux City net. Chased down by Lindbergh in the corner on the left side. Lindbergh trying to wrench it below the icing line for Mustard. Swiped by Court for Sioux City. Mustard comes to challenge him. And Court has to flip it toward the line. It gets to center again, though the Hawks want to bring it right back in. Miller, who just scored, brings it back across the line. Got the puck to Lindbergh. Side of the net. His sharp angle chance. Hit the side of the goal. Now the Hawks get it back to Miller. He shoots. Save. Rebound. Mustard scores! Here come the Hawks. John Mustard with his second of the game. Relentless pressure from the Blackhawks in the sequence. And John Mustard cashes in on the rebound to make it 3-0 Waterloo at 12:32 of the second period. Pardon me, that's 7:32 of the second period. Something didn't sound right about that, but what does sound right, John Mustard with goal number 19 on the season. 11:28 left to go in the middle frame, and the Blackhawks have two separated by just over a minute. Miller will get an assist on Mustard's goal, so it's a 2-point sequence for Tyler Miller. 3-0 Waterloo. Puck shot down into the Blackhawks zone. Miller steers it up the glass. It bounces out to center. And Sioux City collects it there. Shahan backhands it across the Hawk line. Miller gets to it behind the Waterloo net. Miller slings it ahead, looking for Thorson. Kept in, though, by Sioux City. Shahan, left circle, drops it back. Here's a chance that's developing, and the try for Tuminaro did not get through. It was blocked and goes to the wall on the left side of Spicer. Miller frees it up for Felicio. Then Mustard snapped it off of Thorison's stick out through the neutral zone. It's going to go for icing against the Hawks with 10:46 left in the second period. Icing against Waterloo. And with a group out there that should be feeling pretty good right now. Thorson, Mustard, and Lindbergh responsible for a couple of goals in this game. And Tyler Miller also on the ice has had a hand in a couple of them. Face off right of Spicer. Hawks don't want to give anything here to Sioux City right after establishing this 3-0 lead. So this is a big face-off between Lindbergh and Kessler. And Kessler pulls it back cleanly out to the left point for Keith. Sent it up the wall and tapped into the corner by Gunderson. Broken up there by Miller, and then he's upended. The puck comes free. Felicio finds it and puts it up the wall for Thorson. Able to steer it off the glass and out to center. Batted down in the neutral zone. The Musketeers dump it back in. Retrieved by Van Tassel for Sioux City, but Miller bearing down on him, forces it free. Felicio rims it counterclockwise to Thorson, and now he scoops one that comes down at center. The Musketeers trying to get that one to settle. Keefe has to go back to his own zone, shadowed by Lindbergh. That buys the Hawks enough time to change. And a breakout pass deflected, intercepted. Here's Bettini to the offensive zone. Steers it to Morick. His drive is deflected by Keefe, who got to stick to it, and it goes up out of play. 10:04 left in the second. 3-0 Hawks. Will break and come back after this on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free.
Hey, heads up, Justin. They're going to take another media break here pretty quickly, so we'll have another timeout, no doubt, in just a matter of seconds.
Well, maybe just send it.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want me to go right to it, or do you want me to come back to you first?
No, we'll get it at the next whistle, but we're real close to the point where that extra media timeout would kick in, so we got to come back first.
Okay, sounds good.
Located on Brandon Boulevard at Cedar Falls, 4th Street Southwest in Waverly, and Climbing Drive in Waterloo.
Blackhawks 3, Musketeers nothing. Tyler Miller from Will Felicio and Gavin Thorson during a power play, and then the Blackhawks get a second goal tonight from John Mustard, assisted by Miller and Thorson. It's a 3-assist game for Gavin Thorson after he had a goal last night against Madison. A big weekend for the Blackhawks' top point producer, and Thorson suddenly up to a total of 39 points. 29 of those are assists. 10:04 to go, second period. In the period, the Blackhawks with 6 shots on goal, Sioux City with just 1. Keep in mind, Sioux City started the period down just 1-0 and on a power play. Could have tied the game up. Did not manage much during the advantage. The Hawks cash in on their third power play of the game in the period, and then add another shortly after that, now for a 3-0 lead. Williams for the face-off in Sioux City territory against Max Strand. And Williams wins it. Quick shot by Hillman. Didn't get through. Went right back, laid on the dot. Erdman now finds it for Landon Nye shooting, and that one just missed the net. Urban kicking out his skate, but I think realizing that one was going to be wide. Williams gets it back, right wing corner for Reed. Knifed away, comes back to the line. Hillman kept it in there. Strand recovers now for Sioux City, puts it off the glass and out. And now Hillman finds it again for Nyes. Sails one into the offensive zone. Swept ahead by Hupka, and Pritchard finds Martino, backing down Reed. Has help coming too. Martino to the Blackhawks zone, dragging and shooting. It was blocked by Reed, up out of play. 9:28 left to go in the second period. 3-0. The Blackhawks have the lead. We'll take another timeout and come back with more of the second after this on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
ConAgra Brands in Waterloo is currently looking for production technicians on second and third shifts. Technicians must have a 2-year technical degree or 3 to 5 years of experience as a machine operator, maintenance, or automotive technician. Starting wage is $25 an hour with a $1,000 sign-on bonus. ConAgra Brands offers a full benefits package starting on day 1, which includes medical, dental, and vision, plus a 401k with company match. Apply online at ConAgraBrands.com/careers.
3-0. The Waterloo Blackhawks lead the Sioux City Musketeers mid-second period. Last time these two teams played, Sioux City jumped out to a 5-0 lead in the opening period. That's the most goals scored in one period this season by Sioux City, the most allowed by the Blackhawks. But Waterloo had 3 players on the ice that night who are no longer with the team. They had 3 players who were on the ice who are not on the ice tonight, out due to injury. Griffin Erdman and Gavin Lindberg are back. They were gone for that game at the World Junior A Challenge. And meanwhile, the Hawks have now added Peyton Blair to the lineup. They've got some affiliates that are playing. This is a much different looking Blackhawks team. Not to mention the additions of Will Felicio, Finn Williams, and Chris Bettini, all through trades last month. 3-0 Hawks. Musketeers win a draw in the Waterloo zone. Loftus a drive. Didn't get all of it. Flipped it wide of the Hawk net from above the right circle. Fascia finds it for Hillman. Steers it up the glass, and it made it past Loftus through the neutral zone. Erdman hustling, but Mentz wins the race by a stride ahead of Erdman for icing against Waterloo. 9:16 left in the second. The Blackhawks need to win this game in regulation and would need to win Tuesday's rematch against Sioux City in regulation in order to split this season's 4-game regular season series after Sioux City won twice against Waterloo at Tyson Event Center, once in October, once in December. Face off the glove side of Jack Spicer. And the draw pulled into the corner by Williams. Hit the glass. Phelan found it behind his net for Fascia. Quickly right of the goal to Erdman. Flips it out to center, and Williams receives the pass, crosses the line, flips it into the corner. He chases and collides with Mentz, but Williams got there first, played it clockwise behind the net. Gardula jostled by Phelan, and the Musketeers do keep it. Get it back the other way for Shahan to loft out to center. Lands in the neutral zone. Williams steps right to the puck, takes it, turns, and had it swept away by Shahan, but right to Fascia. He spikes it off the left wing boards, and it goes deep. The Hawks will work on finishing a change, with Hillman pursuing along the end wall, wrapped up by Loftus. Help arrives in the form of Butella, who got it free, but then was hit by Nicholas and couldn't do anything more. Snapped out to center. Gardula turning in the referee's crease under a lot of pressure from Phelan. Hawks shovel it back the other way. Now volleyed back up the ice by Nicholas. For Shahan. Has help coming. Caden Shahan centers it, and Gardula couldn't redirect it. We're going to have a penalty against the Hawks, though, as Gardula was hooked. And the Blackhawks go shorthanded for the second time in the game. Opportunity for Sioux City to change the trajectory of this one. 3-0 Hawks, but a lot of time not only left in the game, but even just in the second period. Hooking penalty here on Nick Kasiba, playing off the Hawks affiliate list in his second game for Waterloo. Not seen a lot of Peyton Blair in this one. It's his first game as a Blackhawk, joining the Hawks full-time at Centennial High School near Blaine, Minnesota. 34 goals, 32 assists for 66 points in 27 games last year. Those are good numbers for Minnesota high school hockey. The numbers do tend to be a little bit inflated compared to what you hear in the USHL, but that's a good season. Musketeers win the draw to start their power play. Loftus up the wall. Pritchard sends it in front. Martino shoots. He missed the net. May have hit the crossbar. Red light went on. That one sprang away, though. Now Court with it at the right point. To the left side, now gets it right back in short order from Loftus to the right wing circle for Martino. Side of the net in front. Court a backhander saved by Spicer. Couple of whacks, but Spicer smothers it with 1:37 left to go on the penalty to Kosiba. Just under 8 minutes left to play in the second. And they are going to review this chance that Sioux City had that did draw the red light. So we've got an official review. Just under 8 minutes left in the second period. The Blackhawks up 3-0. Let's take a timeout and come back in 30 seconds on the Courtyard by Marriott. Blackhawks Network in 1650, The Fan.
The Courtyard by Marriott in Waterloo is the place to fuel your passion when you visit the Cedar Valley. Built in the historic John Deere factory, the Courtyard by Marriott is a short walk away from Young Arena, the John Deere Tractor and Engine Museum, and more. Visit the official hotel of the Waterloo Blackhawks. The Courtyard by Marriott at 250 Westfield Avenue in Waterloo's vibrant downtown offers a state-of-the-art hotel experience while providing more flexibility and choices for their guests. Courtyard by Marriott, fueled by passion.
Waterloo 3, Sioux City nothing, pending a review. It's a pretty quick review by referee Gavin Nieto. And he comes back out, puts his helmet back on before stepping to the ice and indicates no goal. As expected, it was a premature goal light. Sioux City will remain on the power play. 1:37 left on the hooking penalty against Kosiba. Second Sioux City power play of the game. It was 1-0 Blackhawks early. That score held for almost all of the first period. Hawks scoring 1:09 in, so the scoreless first 1:09, the only time it wasn't 1-0 in the first. The Hawks adding 2 more in the second, up 3-0 with just under 8 minutes left to go in period 2. Face off at Jack Spicer's right between Kessler and Morick. And Morick won it into the corner fascia, dueling with Pritchard trying to get to it. It's poked behind the Hawk net. Kessler steals it back out to Martino at the right point. Riding that one around the kick plate then for Court. Now to the left point, and Court gets it right back from Loftus to Martino. Martino works out to the line. Sweeps it across the court, then side of the net for Pritchard. Centered one, it's Loftus shooting. Spicer, a glove save, robbing Loftus as that one did get across the slot. That was the way the Musketeers drew it up, but Spicer slams the door with 7:33 left to go in the second period. 3-0 Waterloo still, but still 1:14 left on the Sioux City power play by the same turn. Loftus took a little longer than he could afford to, and that bought Spicer an extra moment to slide to his left and put himself in a position where he was pretty square to the shot by the time Loftus let it go. The Sioux City switches power play units. They've got the Shahan power play unit out there now. Nicholas for the draw, and the Musketeers win it. It comes back to Hansen, settling it at the right point. Then for Shahan, top of the left circle. Shahan backpedals towards the corner, sweeps it back out to Hansen at the line, then for Gardula above the right circle. To Nicholas at the bottom of the ring. They trade spots. Nicholas comes to the net, then for Gardula. He avoids the stick check, dropping it back to Hansen. Now Gardula again, under a minute left on the power play. Ethan Gardula to Ty Hansen. He's above the right circle, then back for Gardula. Musketeers not getting the look that they want. Hansen now sent it to Shahan. His centering feed redirected by Miller to the boards on the right side. The Musketeers collect it and stay in power play formation. 35 seconds left on the advantage. Nicholas centering, redirected. Sioux City scores. Put in by Strand. Just letting go of a quick shot as soon as the puck arrived. And now each team with a power play goal in the second period. Max Strand has scored on the setup from the bottom of the circle. He was between the rings and puts the low shot in at 13:07 of period number 2. So Sioux City getting one back with the power play conversion. 2 good special teams units. And right now it's been a wash in terms of the special teams play between the two. Give Gardula 1 assist and Nicholas the other. So a 3-1 score. Back to 5-on-5 action. Court backhanding one down deep into the Blackhawk zone. Nyes after it, keeps it moving clockwise for Townsend. Trying to get it out. It was deflected, stolen now by Kessler. Moves to the left circle, turns just inside the line. Kessler sweeps it back to the outside edge of the left circle for Court. Under some pressure, forced back toward the line, kept it away from Townsend. Now knocked away from him by Morick. Gets out to center. Kessler and Townsend chasing. Kessler stops quickly, reverses it, but stolen by Reed for Waterloo. Then for Townsend to the offensive zone. Left it for Morick, then for Reed. Steps in for a shot. Urban the glove save with 6:17 left in the second period. 3-1 Blackhawks. The third period has not been especially successful for either of these two teams. So the Hawks in a situation where they would like to maintain this lead as best as they can. Waterloo for the season has been outscored by their opponents at a margin of -3. Sioux City, though, outscored by their opponents in the third by 2 goals on the season as a whole. So both teams have not had the best of it in third periods this season. Musketeers win the draw but fail to clear. Williams knocked it down, but then the Musketeers' Hansen follows up and wrenches it out to center. Chased down towards the Blackhawk zone by Cachero, dropping it back to Hansen, coming into the offensive zone for Cachero. Now for Jacobs. His stick was tied up as he tried to shoot, and it went well wide. And the Musketeers mishandle it, and it escapes down into Sioux City ice. Keefe after it, shadowed by Butella, forced behind his net, wrapped up there. Hawks take it away. Williams trying to get it to Mustard. The pass was deflected. Otherwise, Mustard would have been alone at the hash mark. Fascia couldn't slow Jacobs down, and Jacobs gets to the Hawk line, but then he ran into Phelan, and that stalls the Musketeers. Hawks fail to clear. Keefe a shot from the right point. Hit his own man. Comes in front. Cachero a shot and a save by Spicer. The rebound collected by Williams, who slides it up the ice to Butella, crisscrossing with Mustard. Butella, end of a shift, will steer it deep. Mustard pursues. Keefe gets to it first. Fires it clockwise behind the net for Loftus. Then up the boards to be brought to the line by Gunderson. Back for Loftus, avoiding Thoresen. Loftus now to the Blackhawks zone. Taps it to the right wing corner. Chases it down himself. Musketeers change, but the Hawks have control of the puck in their own zone. Felicio with an assist in this game. Headman pass, trying to hit a home run to Blair. Broken up by Loftus. It ticks down behind the Sioux City net. And the Musketeers are going to get another power play here as Bettini was trying to take the puck away, tripped up a Musketeer. And much like the penalty against the Musketeers, Colin Kessler, that led to a Blackhawk power play goal earlier in the period, that one had to be called. Bettini for tripping with just under 5 minutes left to go in period 2. And if the Musketeers capitalize on this power play, it will undo a pretty good second period. The Hawks started up 1-0. It was 3-0, now 3-1 with just under 5 minutes left to go before the second intermission. Face off at Spicer's right side. Gavin Lindbergh against Brian Nicholas, and the Musketeers win the draw, but Shahan trying to play the puck from along the boards from a knee, ended up putting it out to center, trying to get it to Ty Hansen, and so the Musketeers go all the way back to their own zone. They've had some trouble coming through neutral ice during their power plays. They're a little cautious. Gardula now slings it ahead. The pass broken up at the Blackhawk line by Miller, who tries to backhand it out to center. It hit Nicholas, stays in the zone. Strand with it. He coughs it up. Reed got it, but couldn't clear it himself. And now the Musketeers have it, but back in the neutral zone as Strand's momentum carried him out to center. Shahan brings it right back in. Flips it down into the left wing corner, then sends it behind the net for Gardula on the right wing boards. For Hansen at the line, knocked away by Lindbergh. Lindbergh is not going to get there because Urban comes out of the net. He'll take it himself back behind the goal and let Hansen start away. The Hawks will use this opportunity to change with just over a minute left on this Musketeer power play. 3-1 Hawks with a little more than 4 to go in period 2. Shahan avoids Thorson, got it to the Hawk line, then for Gardula in the high slot, bouncing puck taken away by Thorson. He sure-handedly lifted that rolling puck out to center. That was tougher than it looked because that puck was up on edge. Now Sioux City putting out some fresh power play participants. Court, shadowed by Morick, gets away, leaves the puck for Pritchard, then to Kessler at the Hawk line, got it into the zone for Pritchard overlapping, stops right wing boards, dropping it back. Court gloves it down, goes to the left point for Loftus, then back for Court, into the right wing circle, Martino. 30 seconds on the power play to the side of the net, Kessler. Back for Court, a drive, missed the net, hits the end glass, comes back to the line, Loftus holds it in, then for Pritchard, turning. Pritchard leaves it for Loftus, rink wide Court, above the right circle to the bottom of the ring, Martino, then behind the net, and dropped back by Pritchard for Loftus. His one-timer was blocked by Morick. Loftus has it back, final seconds on the power play. Now Court, half slap shot, hit his own man, Hawks take it away, and it's cleared down the length of the ice by Morick, skipping it just wide of the Sioux City net. Penalty time to Bettini is over. He comes out of the penalty box as Martino gets back to the Blackhawk line. Phelan had his stick slashed out of his hands. Play continues, Hawks get back defensively, slowing the Sioux City rush. Now Williams along the end boards, trying to get away from a check, looking for some help from Reed. Hawks lose control of it, and it's played back to the line by Kachiro, but escapes out to center. Keith for Sioux City, trying to turn back in, cross the line on his forehand, steers to the boards on the left wing side, shadowed by Reed, comes back to the high slot, tries a wrist shot, it deflects and goes wide. Puck along the wall at Spicer's left, and it's dug out by Erdman. He couldn't flip it to center. Hawks follow up, and they do fight it out to the neutral zone. Hansen with it now for Sioux City, back to Keith. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the second as the Musketeers dump it in. Phelan keeps it moving. Townsend left of the goal, then for Erdman. Hit and flattened, and we're going to have a penalty there on Jacobs, who then goes after Townsend, who gets run over after the play. The initial penalty was going to be on Jacobs, and then Kachiro flattened Townsend from behind. And by all rights here, the Blackhawks ought to be on a 5-on-3 if they don't take a retaliatory penalty. Jacobs stuck out his leg and tripped up Erdman. Kachiro flattened Townsend, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 Blackhawk power play. A full 2 minutes of 5-on-3 time. Cross-checking on Kachiro. Didn't see whether it was a knee or a trip on Jacobs, but the Hawks 6 for 11 in 5-on-3 situations. Have 2 full minutes of 5-on-3 time with 2:04 left to go in the second. 1 for 3 on the power play so far. Sioux City getting one back with a power play earlier in the period, but now the Blackhawks with a chance if they make full use of this 2-man advantage to stretch the lead as large as it's been. Lindbergh, Hillman, and Thorson, Miller, and Felicio, the 5 to start the power plays. To draw a shot into the right wing corner. Thorson freed it up, and Lindbergh drops it back to Felicio. Then to Miller at the left point. Tyler Miller back for Will Felicio. Hawks try to close the perimeter. Thorson, then Felicio, now Miller one more time. A goal and an assist for him in the period. Miller sets up Felicio, put it in front. He was looking for Hillman and didn't get it on goal. It rolls, and Hillman finds it off the left wing boards. Back to Felicio, now Thorson. Quickly back to Felicio. Thorson one more time. Pass tipped on the return to Felicio. He does get it to settle down. Turns to the boards, then for Thorson at the extended goal line. For Felicio, now to Miller. Miller for Lindbergh. Bottom of the left circle, challenged by Hansen. Centered one, it comes to Felicio, put it in front, it was redirected, goes to the left wing corner, 1:15 left on the power play. Miller fell down near the line, but had enough room to get back up and keep it away from Shahan for Lindbergh. Lindbergh back to Tyler Miller. Miller for Felicio. He tries a wrist shot, missed the net. Lindbergh finds it off the end wall halfway through the 2-man advantage. Just over a minute left to go in the second period. Here's Tyler Miller for Felicio. One-timer, deflected. Thorson finds it. Thorson turning, outside edge of the right circle. Comes across the high slot. Thorson slips it for Hillman. Stuff attempt and a save made by Urban. And then Loftus jostles Hillman, but Urban got it covered up with 48 seconds left during this power play, which is a full 2 minutes of 5-on-3 2-man advantage time. Both teams will make wholesale changes. Urban taking his time getting back up, a little slow, but on one skate. The Hawks will have Erdman, Williams, Townsend, Mustard, the fourth forward, and Fascia. Mustard with 2 goals in the game. Urban is okay to continue. About 4 seconds difference between the power play time and the end of the period. Key face-off here between Nicholas and Williams. Hawks move before the draw. Now they reset. And Williams wins it cleanly back to Fascia, right point. Fascia for Mustard, top of the left circle. He moves in and shoots. He scores! Hat-trick, John Mustard! Here come the Hawks with a 5-on-3 power play goal. Mustard with numbers 18, 19, and now number 20 for the Blackhawk rookie. It's 4-1 Waterloo with the 5-on-3 power play conversion. The Hawks 2 for 5 on the power play with 42 seconds left on this advantage, as John Mustard snaps in a low shot past the glove of Urban. 46.1 seconds left to go in the second period. That officially will make this 19-13, the time of the goal for Mustard from Fascia. And the Hawks still on the power play for another 42 seconds as they collect the hats after John Mustard's second hat trick of the season. A big night for John Mustard. And we'll see what the Blackhawks can do before the period ends. They've already gotten 3 in the second. They're on the power play for another 42 seconds, and they're going to leave out the same unit. It's still Townsend, Williams, and Erdman up front. Fascia and Mustard manning the points. Center circle face-off between Gunderson and Williams. And Williams pulled the draw back. It comes to Fascia. And the clock rolls with just more than 40 seconds left to go in the second, and the Hawks back up by 3. Fascia hurries it up the ice. Comes across the Sioux City line. High slot, he lost it, and Hansen flips it the other way. Waterloo now 7 for 12 in 5-on-3 situations. 20 seconds left on the power play. Mustard up the ice, crosses the line. Shakes it off the left wing boards to himself in the corner, but then runs out of room there for Blackhawks along the corner on the left wing side. Mustard trying to scoot it below the icing line. Hansen was in his way, trying to tie it up. Puck comes free, flip toward the line. Not out, Fascia kept it in for Mustard. Can he get another shot away? He sets it up for Erdman. Blocker saved by Urban. Power play time's over. Puck goes back to the left wing corner. The period comes to an end, and the Blackhawks, who saw a 3-0 lead diminished, will take a 3-goal lead into the second intermission. Waterloo with 3 in the second, and a 4-1 lead on the Sioux City Musketeers after 40 minutes. We'll come back to recap it after a timeout. Waterloo 4, Sioux City 1 with 20 minutes left in regulation, but the Hawks with a big second period. We'll talk about it after this on the Courtyard by Marriott Blackhawks Network in 1650 The Fan.
Whatever your project and wherever you are, Karen's Print Right can handle all your printing needs under one roof. This is Blackhawks coach Matt Sneak. From design to delivery, Karen's Print Right does it all. Forms or business cards for your office, invitations or envelopes for special events, yard signs, rubber stamps, screen printing, and so much more. Find all the details at Karen'sPrintRight.com, where you can also request a quote right from home. Karen's Print Right on Falls Avenue in Waterloo, and open online around the clock at Karen'sPrintRight.com.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at US Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Shop, donate, or volunteer to help Habitat for Humanity at the Restore in Waterloo. Whether you purchase or donate furniture, building materials, or appliances, you make it possible for families in Northeast Iowa to achieve home ownership in decent, affordable housing. Visit the Restore at 4107 Hammond Avenue in Waterloo, or check them out at webuildhabitat.org/restore. Help Habitat do more. Shop the Restore in Waterloo.
At Domino's, we're so obsessed with pizza, we'll try to turn pretty much anything into pizza. Sizzling pizza fajitas, pizza milkshake. Probably not the best pizza ideas, but a great idea, Domino's Loaded Tots. We bake our tots hot and crispy and load them up with melty cheese and delicious toppings, just like our pizza. From savory Philly cheesesteak to craveable cheddar bacon and mouthwatering melty brie cheese, Domino's Loaded Tots are just like Domino's Pizza, only on tots. Can someone turn a fan on in here? Try Domino's Loaded Tots next time you order.
This hockey season, give an assist to local charities with the 1650 campaign. Each month, we'll tell the story of a different Cedar Valley organization doing good in the community. Make your donation of $16.50 at 1650thefan.com. This month's featured cause is the Tegan Damey ALD Medical Fund. The 1650 campaign, presented by Slumberland Furniture in Cedar Falls, the Waterloo Blackhawks, and 1650 The Fan.
Your home for the Waterloo Blackhawks, 1650 The Fan.
Through 40 minutes, John Mustard with a hat trick, and the Waterloo Blackhawks with a 4-1 lead on the Sioux City Musketeers at Young Arena, trying to pick up a couple of points on the second-place team in the USHL Western Conference. The Hawks have Sioux Falls in between, but also hoping that they might get a little bit more help, and Waterloo could leapfrog the Sioux Falls Stampede with a win and a Fargo Force victory, and those have been stacked up regularly by the top team in the USHL. We'll find out how Fargo and Sioux Falls are doing as we continue on in this intermission, but time to tell you how we've gotten to this 4-1 Blackhawks score with our scoring summary at the second intermission presented by Ted's Home and Hardware. The only goal of the first period came early, and it held for a 1-0 Blackhawk lead for well over 18 minutes. 1:09 the time of that goal. There had not been a whistle yet in the game. Gavin Lindberg got to a puck behind the Sioux City net, centered it to Gavin Thorson in the slot. Thorson had options. He could have shot, he had time, and elected to make a pass instead, and that was the right call because it left John Mustard with an open side, and Mustard slipped in. The puck passed the left skate of Urban, starting his big night with goal number 18 on the season. Gavin Thorson and Gavin Lindberg, the assists on that Mustard tally. Hawks had a couple of power plays in period number one, didn't score on them. Sioux City finished the period with a few seconds of power play time, which carried into the second. They did not score. The Blackhawks went to the next power play, cashed in on their third power play opportunity of the night. 6:06 the time of the goal for Tyler Miller. He had a lot of room in the left wing circle with the Hawks putting pressure on, and Sioux City not able to get the puck out of the defensive zone. Miller strode in and snapped a low shot past Samuel Urban's glove inside the opposite post from where he was shooting. And Miller, with his 7th of the season at 6:06 on the power play, assisted by Will Felicio and Gavin Thorson, giving the Hawks a 2-0 lead. And the Hawks were tightening the screws immediately after that. They got it right back into the Sioux City end on the ensuing sequence. And a minute and 26 seconds later, the Blackhawks struck again. And once more, Miller was involved. This time he was shooting from just a few feet more towards the middle of the ice. He was about at the left circle hash mark. That time Urban was able to make the save, but the puck pinged off of him and went to the opposite circle for John Mustard, who scored from there on the rebound. Goal number 19 for Mustard, his second of the night at 7:32. Assisted by Tyler Miller and Gavin Thorson, and that made it 3-0 with the Blackhawks pulling a little further ahead. Sioux City did capitalize on their next power play opportunity at 13:07. The goal scored by Max Strand as the puck came his way from Brian Nicholas, who was set up near the bottom of the right wing circle, made a quick pass, and Strand made an even quicker release when the puck did get to him, putting a low shot past Jack Spicer, Strand from Nicholas, and Ethan Gardula, making it a 3-1 game. But the Blackhawks made the most of at least one, if not two, ill-advised Sioux City penalties. There was a tripping call against Easton Jacobs, make it a kneeing call as he stuck out his leg and sent the Blackhawks' Griffin Erdman sprawling. But then, after that, well after the whistle, Alexei Kachero came from behind and flattened Teddy Townsend in what was a pretty clear penalty on Cachiro for cross-checking. And so it was a 5-on-3 power play for a full 2 minutes. The Musketeers fended off the Blackhawks for more than a minute, but John Mustard cashing in from the left circle, very similar in terms of where he let go of that shot relative to where Tyler Miller had scored. The hat trick for John Mustard at 19:13 of the second period, 46.1 seconds left in the period when Mustard scored on assists from Nick Fascia and Finn Williams. The Hawks now 2 for 5 on the power play, 1 for 1 in the game, 5 on 3. And for the season now, the Hawks 7 for 12 in 5-on-3 situations. Sioux City 1 for 3 in their power play looks tonight. The Blackhawks scored their 3 second period goals on just 9 shots, but the quality was certainly there for Waterloo. The Musketeers had 6 shots on goal in period 2, so the totals at this point, 20 shots on goal for Waterloo, 17 for Sioux City. And that is our second intermission scoring summary presented by Ted's Home and Hardware. Move snow like a pro with Yoho shovels. They're the distinctive yellow snow shovels that have been built to last in Monticello, Iowa since 1929. Find Yoho shovels at Ted's Home and Hardware in Evansdale, where you can find help with your project. Stop in to see Ted and his staff. There to help at 3550 Lafayette Road in Evansdale. We'll break and come back and review tonight's keys to the game. Blackhawks on top of Sioux City right now, 4-1. More after this on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Fit Pop Popcorn. It's a poppin' in Iowa. But many people don't have world-class popcorn growing in their neighborhood. Fit Pop is grown better right next door in Cedar Falls. Never fear, you can ship Fit Pop Popcorn anywhere in the United States. Think of those people who don't have Fit Pop Popcorn at their local grocery store. Send them a Midwestern care package from fit-pop.com. That's fit-pop.com. Fit Pop Popcorn. It's a poppin' in Iowa.
At Green Acre Storage, we can take it. Think of us as storage therapists. We provide clean, safe, secure, climate-controlled storage units in a complete range of sizes. Feel free to unload on us in our enclosed and heated loading area. And ask about our Penske truck rentals and packing supplies. And feel better fast, knowing the storage pros at Green Acres specialize in not judging. We'll keep your stuff and your secrets. Green Acres. Because life is hard, storage is not.
Right now, someone is having fun at Maple Lanes in Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center. Sure, there's fun for bowlers, but there's also gamers, party animals, and anyone who loves good food. If you haven't been to Maple Lanes and Cadillac XBC lately, you don't know how much fun you're missing. Then there's Kingpin Social, open with a full menu for lunch and dinner every day. MapleLanesWaterloo.com, 2608 University Avenue. CadillacXBC.com, 650 LaPorte Road. Have some fun tonight.
The Waterloo Blackhawks play here. 1650 The Fan.
Waterloo 4, Sioux City 1, second intermission at Young Arena. The 1650 campaign presented by Slumberland Furniture, the Blackhawks, and the Fan. During the month of February, the cause that will benefit from your contributions of $16.50, the Tegan Daney ALD Medical Fund. Make a contribution at Viridian Credit Union. Find out more about Tegan's story at WaterlooBlackhawks.com. 4-1 Hawks, time to look at tonight's keys to the game. Reviewing those from pregame, I said the Hawks needed to take away space from Sioux City defensemen. Sioux City with 3 players with more than 20 points from the blue line so far this season. So far in this game, Musketeer defensemen do not have any points, and that's a change with Sioux City having some success against the Blackhawks in the earlier meetings. Another key was to continue to find ways for new Blackhawks to contribute. Well, Will Felicio, still a relatively new Blackhawk. He's got an assist in this game for Waterloo. So does Finn Williams after he picked up an assist last night. on the Blackhawks game-winning goal. Both of those coming in power play situations. So the Hawks getting those guys involved in special teams very quickly. And the third key, the Hawks needed a better start than they had yesterday against Madison. They did warm to the task on Friday and ultimately did get the win, but had to battle for it. The Hawks did get a good start. A goal just a minute and 9 seconds into the game. They built on that, and they'll go to the third period ahead 4-1. Coming up for the next Blackhawks Family 4-Pack night, mark your calendar for February the 23rd when the Hawks take on the Sioux Falls Stampede. That Family 4-Pack available for $64, including 4 tickets, 4 Chuck-a-Pucks, and $32 in concession vouchers to use on all of your favorite concession items at Young Arena. The Family 4-Pack only available for limited games. The next one is February the 23rd, a Friday against Sioux Falls. Scores from other USHL games on the way after a timeout. The third period coming up to Blackhawks 4, Musketeers 1 on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
Since 2013, we've been here to meet the community's needs. This is Ted from Ted's Home and Hardware in Evanston. In the years since we first opened our doors, the Cedar Valley has seen good times and some tough days too. Whatever brings you to Ted's Home and Hardware, you can count on us for experience and know-how.
Check out Ted's selection of tradesman quality M18 fuel power tools. The most powerful 18-volt cordless tools in their class from Milwaukee Tool and available at Ted's.
Viridian Credit Union is proud to support the Waterloo Blackhawks and the Cedar Valley. Each year, Viridian invests over $1 million in our communities by funding grants, scholarships, donations, and more to support local organizations and residents. We're your partners in creating successful financial futures for everyone. Learn more about our commitment to community service at viridiancu.org/community. People helping people. That's the value of Viridian.
Bugsy's Best Solutions. Solving problems, that's what we do. Bugsy's Best Solutions. 239-2772.
Cockroaches are never a welcome house guest, and the over-the-counter sprays won't convince them to pack their bags. Evict those roaches with help from Bugsy's Pest Solutions. After an initial application, Bugsy's will follow up to keep those roaches on the run. 239-2772 or visit Bugsy'sPestSolutions.com.
Right now, new and current customers can get any phone for free at US Cellular, so you can connect with all your family members this holiday season. You can even call your aunt, who always makes you talk to your cousin, who's a dog. Or, maybe just send her a festive text. Get the gift of connection at US Cellular. Get any phone free today. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
We value human connection with fewer distractions. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Visit U.S. Cellular, located on Brandolin Boulevard in Cedar Falls, 4th Street Southwest in Waverly, and Planning Drive in Waterloo.
Your home for the Waterloo Blackhawks, 1650 The Fan.
And you are listening to 1650 The Fan, KCNZ Cedar Falls, Waterloo, and broadcasting on K272GA at FM 102.3, a Koloff media station. Blackhawks 4, Sioux City 1. Around the rest of the USHL, in Green Bay tonight, the Gamblers have a 3-1 lead now on the Madison Capitals, including a pair of goals from Libor Nimic. The Lincoln Stars on top of the Omaha Lancers, 4-2 in Lincoln. 4 different goal scorers for Lincoln there. Des Moines keeping ahead of the Tri-City Storm. A goal by Braden Ford is the difference. Buccaneers 3, Storm 2. Fargo still on top of Sioux Falls, 4-1. A Fargo win and a Blackhawks win would allow Waterloo to move into third place in the USHL's Western Conference. The Youngstown Phantoms have swung in front of the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders in Youngstown. Kuzma Voronin's goal is the difference. 3-2, Youngstown with the lead. And it's Chicago 3, Muskegon 1, with 3 different first-period goal scorers for the Steel. That game in Chicago is at the first intermission. All of the other games around the league are about to begin the third period. The NHL All-Star festivities today. Team Matthews, the winners of the All-Star Final against Team McDavid, 7-4. College basketball right now, first half. Over on our sister station, cruising KCFI. That's 1250 AM, 105.1 FM. Baylor is leading Iowa State by a dozen points, 33-21 in the late first half. Also going on right now in women's college basketball, the Iowa Hawkeye women Right now with a comfortable lead on Maryland on the road, 52-38 for Hawkeyes at the halftime break. Earlier today in men's college basketball, the UNI Panthers fell to Murray State. Murray State a big win, 71-43 at the McLeod Center. Things did not go better for the Panther women as they fell to Drake. They were closer against the Bulldogs, but on the short end of a 79-71 score. And the Iowa State women fell to Central Florida, 71-66 in a game that you heard on the Fan. It began this morning and wrapped up early this afternoon. If you're just joining us, John Mustard has a hat trick. The other goal to Tyler Miller. The Blackhawks 2 for 5 on the power play and a 4-1 lead on the Sioux City Musketeers going to the third period at Young Arena. In the first of 2 games between these teams in a 4-day span. Sioux City will be back on Tuesday. You can get tickets for that one right now or anytime at tickets.waterlooblackhawks.com. If you're coming out to the game, let your friends know on social media. Tell anybody that you can because that one is not on the original schedule. And so Blackhawks fans, we need your help to let folks know that that big game on Tuesday is happening and that the home crowd that's made some noise tonight will hopefully be behind the Blackhawks Tuesday when Sioux City comes back. Ready for a third period face-off between Finn Williams and Brian Nicholas. And the draw is swatted back towards the Blackhawk line. Nicholas lost his stick there, which broke as he took that face-off. Hawks get the puck from their own line and now start ahead with Williams hooking a pass to Erdman on left wing. Pulls up inside the Sioux City line, goes across to the right point. Phelan then to the deep slot. Fascist shooting, save made, rebound, chopped at. It goes wide. Williams picks it back up. Drops it back out to Phelan above the right circle. And Phelan got it back to Williams. Shooting! Urban makes the glove save with Hillman. Right at the top of the crease along with big defenseman Owen Keith creating a screen, but the big goaltender Samuel Urban with the answer on that one. The draw will be in the Sioux City zone. 27 seconds gone in the third period. Blackhawks leading coming into the third. And a comfortable lead at that. 3 goals, 4-1 the margin for Waterloo. The Hawks, when leading after 2 this season, 13-2-1. Hawks get control off the restart. Townsend didn't have anywhere to go. He and Morick work against 3 Musketeers in the right wing corner. It squirts behind the net. Taken away by 2. Monaro cleared to the line. It got past Felicio and could go for icing as Miller does win the race back to that puck. It was a quick whistle, but Miller was a couple of strides ahead. By the way, the Musketeers do have some history of coming back from second intermission deficits. They've been down at the second intermission a dozen times. They've come back to get at least 1 point in 5 of those, 3-7-2 this season when trailing at this stage of the game. After the icing call, Morick for the draw in the offensive zone, swept back toward Felicio, shooting, deflected. It didn't get through though. And now Townsend finds it on the boards on the right wing side, surrounded there. Musketeers clear to the line. Miller trying to dump it back in, puts it up and out of play into the protective netting. I talked about this with Blackhawks head coach Matt Smaby in pregame. Reed Morick playing really well. Comes into this game with 6 points over the last 4 games. Doesn't have a point tonight, but half of his season total in the last couple of weekends. And just continuing to make strides in his game. He's out there now for a draw. 1 away from him by Kessler. And fed ahead Van Tassel's direction, but Felicio took it away. And now it's Morick on left wing. Morick sweeps it across the Sioux City line, absorbs some contact, got the puck deep. But to Monaro, able to get it back up the ice, and the Musketeers move it right back at Kessler. Scored the game winner last night against Omaha. Fed it to the Hawk line for Van Tassel. Going to the corner on the right side, checked by Felicio. They dig along the kick plate in the corner at Spicer's left. Jeffress pulls it free, drops it back. It's Loftus now inside the line, avoiding Townsend. Backhands it into the corner on the right wing side. And Jeffress there, but Morick nearly knocked him into the referee. That allowed Bettini to come over and help out. Hawks get it to center. Bettini juggling it as far as the Sioux City line, but the puck hopped on him, and he couldn't bring it into the zone. Shot back towards Blackhawks ice. Miller got there ahead of Kessler, batted it up the boards. Townsend and Jeffress chasing now as it comes off the wall. The Musketeers, Kessler turns with it. Plays it clockwise behind the Hawk net. Hupka, right wing boards. Avoids a check from Bettini, but then gives the puck up to Felicio. And Bettini now for Morick. End of a shift, gets it to the red line and chops the rolling puck down into the left wing corner. Over 2 minutes into the third period, the Blackhawks by 3. Sam Court behind the Sioux City net. Couple of Blackhawks forechecking in the offensive zone. Court in no hurry. Now snaps one up the ice, trying to find Strand. This should be icing, and it is, as that one was up about knee-high. Missed Strand, and Reed had a couple of steps to the puck ahead of Strand. Got there for the icing whistle. 17:36 left to go in the third period. Lindbergh for the face-off in the offensive zone. And Lindbergh couldn't pull it back. Thorson upended trying to get to it. He springs back up, sent it behind the net for Lindbergh, stopping along the end wall. Lindbergh now turns to the corner, back for Mustard. He shoots and missed the net. He was trying for 4 there and was in a good spot. The shot off the mark. Reed kept in the carom. Moves up the wall on the right wing side. Now drops it back. John Mustard, lot of room above the right circle. Avoids a check, steps into the ring. Side of the net, in front, lost the handle. Nyes picks it up. He shoots. Deflected. It goes up out of play. 17:10 left to play in the third period. 4-1 Waterloo. That one sent into the protective netting off of perhaps Mustard, who was down on the ice. It hit somebody, and it was, in fact, a Blackhawk going up and out off of that Blackhawk stick. Almost 3 minutes into the third. The Blackhawks by 3 at 4-1. Now Blair out there for Waterloo, along with Kosiba and Butella. Hawks unable to win this draw, but the Musketeers with an errant pass that's stolen by Fascia. He'll pitchfork it down into the right wing corner of the Sioux City zone. Batted behind the net by Keefe, stolen there by Kosiba. Eluded one Musketeer, but coming across, Jacobs took it away. And Easton Jacobs snapped it to the line, hit a leg. The Hawks, Phelan pokes it to Butella, who now dumps it into the right wing corner. It pinballs behind the Sioux City net. Keefe retrieves it, harassed by Kosiba, got rid of it. Brought out to the line by Gunderson. Then for Hansen, who comes up the ice. Got to the red line and dumps it in. Fascia has a step to it. His stick was lifted, but he battled through the check by Gunderson. Now it's free behind the Hawk net. Phelan there to corral it for Butella right of the goal. Out to the neutral zone. Phelan tried to tap it ahead, and it did not find its way to the intended target, Blair. Musketeers reverse it. Jacobs back to the Blackhawks zone. Poke check with back pressure from Erdman. And Fascia tried to rim it around, couldn't get it out. Stolen away. Gunderson for Shahan. Shot stopped by Spicer. Rebound collected by Williams. And Finn Williams. Then for Hillman on right wing. He was the hero last night with 2 goals. Gets to the offensive zone here. Centers one. Redirected by Erdman. It went just wide after the first contact, forced to save by Urban, and then it hit a defenseman and went wide. Now shot down into the Blackhawks zone. Felicio there ahead of Shahan for Miller. Now Hillman. Giving it to Williams. His pass goes off of a skate, but right back to Hillman. Getting it out to center, weaving through some traffic, knocked off balance. Springs back up, gets his stick back as the Hawks still have the puck. Miller at the red line, flies one down into the left wing corner. First one to it is Joseph Mentz trying to break it out. It hit Williams. That allows Erdman to get there. For Williams, looks over his shoulder along the end boards. Rims it back to Miller. Has a goal and an assist in the game. Tyler Miller, right point. Working up the wall against Gardula. Cut down. Williams gets the puck back, rims it to Erdman and boards. Erdman collapsed underneath Mentz. Hawks still able to center it with Williams finding it, but not able to connect with Bettini. The Musketeers clear it. The rolling puck's going to force Spicer to play it. No icing. Felicio, headman pass. Bettini receives it, comes into the zone. Curls left wing boards. Trying to hang on to it. Help arrives from Felicio. He snaps it towards the corner. It goes behind the net and all the way to the opposite boards. Musketeers clear it from there. Hupka's pass knocked down by Nyes, recovered by Jeffress. He's poke checked coming into the Blackhawks zone. Recovers it, then has his pass intercepted by Felicio. Helped along by Bettini out to center. Kessler won it back and dumped it in. Chases his dump in. Centers it. Van Tassel a shot and didn't get it away. That was blocked by Nyes. Now in front, Kessler has to go behind. Drops the puck back out to the left point. Hupka turning. Hupka back up the wall for Kessler, and he kept it away from Felicio, but not from Townsend, who got it out to center. Kessler recovers it in front of the Blackhawk bench. End of a shift. He'll steer it down into the right wing corner. Chased by Court. Sam Court goes behind the Blackhawk net. Kept it alive long enough for Kessler, who stayed out there to handle it, but couldn't center it. Stolen by Morick, then to Bettini. And Bettini as far as the Sioux City line before skipping one down into the right wing corner, going for a change. 6 minutes into a fast-moving third. Hawks still up by 3. Hansen back to the referee's crease. Bounced one across the Hawks line. The dump in goes into the corner, but volleyed right back off the glass and out to center by Reed. Thoresen finds it, spins one that was behind Mustard. He stretches back, finds it, comes into the offensive zone. Poke checked, Nyes gets it back, goes to the end wall. One hand on his stick, shovels it behind the net for Lindbergh. Comes to the left wing corner, then for Mustard on the end boards. Mustard kept it away. Wraparound try couldn't complete it as he collided with Keefe. Got the puck back, fed it into the corner on the right side, and Keefe takes it away. Slings it up the ice for Strand, who has the lone Sioux City goal. Up the ice across the center circle into the Blackhawks zone, but didn't have a lane to carry it in. Had to dump it behind the Hawk net and picked back up there by Martino. For Pritchard to the right point to Monaro. Then Loftus on his forehand with a wrist shot. May have been tipped. Spicer steers it aside with his right pad. Loftus has it again into the high slot to Monaro. Moves to the left circle. Pulled to his forehand. His shot was stopped by Spicer. Mustard feeding it Butella's way. And Aero Butella makes it out to center. Got a puck batted down across the Sioux City line. Moves in and shoots. Missed the net going for the wide side post. Karam's out of the corner back to center, but right to Fascia. Under 13 left in the third, and the Hawks by 3. Now Phelan back for Fascia. Then for Blair in his first game. Blair on left wing. Stops along the boards, drops it back. Fascia winds and fires. Missed the net, came off the inboard. Stuff attempt, second chance, and Urban stopped both of them. First Kosiba and then Butella. Timeout on the ice with 12:32 left to go in the third. Blackhawks 4, Musketeers 1. We're back after this in 30 seconds on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
ConAgra Brands in Waterloo is currently looking for production technicians and second and third shifts. Technicians must have a 2-year technical degree or 3 to 5 years of experience as a machine operator, maintenance, or automotive technician. Starting wage is $25 an hour with a $1,000 sign-on bonus. ConAgra Brands offers a full benefits package starting on day 1, which includes medical, dental, and vision, plus a 401k with company match. Apply online at ConAgraBrands.com/careers.
Waterloo on top of Sioux City 4-1, getting toward the middle part of period number 3. We're in the middle part, not quite to the mathematical midpoint of the third period, but a hat trick from John Mustard, plus a power play goal from Tyler Miller. And the Hawks with a 3-goal lead on the USHL Western Conference's second place team. Stay tuned after the game for the Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center post-game show. Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center offering a full arcade, laser tag. They have a scoring system allowing for a wider range of bowling games like hyper bowling, a whole new bowling experience. Blackhawks centerman Peyton Blair unable to win the draw here from Gunderson in the offensive zone. Easton Jacobs has it for Sioux City, getting out to center in front of his bench. Trying to feed it ahead, but Fascia collects it. And now it's Phelan. Going up the left wing boards for Blair. It hopped away from him. Butella fights his way to the puck, gets it into the offensive zone to the side of the net. Knocked down going toward the end wall, and Court takes it away. Sam Court slings it off of a skate, kicked to the Blackhawk line, and Kachiro couldn't advance it any further than that. The Musketeers have to regroup. Gunderson avoiding Blair, crossing into the Hawks zone. And now a give and go. Gunderson trying to drop it back for Court, a shot that missed the Blackhawk net. Karam's off the end wall. Butella bats it out to center. And the Hawks change with under 12 minutes left to go in the third. No icing here. Kachiro had to go all the way back to the end boards. Looked like he had a chance to pick it up, but Sioux City was changing. And so Kachiro was in no hurry. Court, headman pass for Shahan. Got it across the Hawk line. Fell down with no one around him. And the Hawks take it back with Hillman now. Feeding it ahead for Erdman on right wing. Good chance earlier in the period. Gains the line here. Erdman goes across the high slot, left wing circle, then behind the Sioux City net. Brought it to the bottom of the right circle, wrapped up by Hansen. They collide along the boards on the right wing side. Hansen gives Erdman a shot. Erdman comes up, has the puck for Hillman. He shoots. It clears the crossbar and hits the end glass. Bouncing back to Felicio. Flipped it into the corner for Williams. Then behind the net for Erdman. Hansen stepped in the path of the puck. Took it away. And Hansen able to navigate out from his own zone back to center. Ty Hansen flips it to the right wing boards for Shahan. Back for Hansen in the corner of the Hawk zone. Sent it behind the Hawk net, intercepted by Miller. And Hillman looks around for Waterloo with under 11 minutes left to play in regulation. Hillman comes back to the center red line, makes the sure dump in, gets the Hawks a change. 4-1 Waterloo. No change in the score during the third period. In the neutral zone, the bouncing puck comes back to Bettini. He avoids a couple of oncoming Musketeers and now accelerates through neutral ice. Bettini gives it to Morik. He drags and shoots, and a save made with the blocker by Urban, and Morick looking really confident with that shot. Now a long try coming from Nyes. That's stopped by Urban. It's in the corner on the left wing side. Musketeers win control of it in their own zone. Gardula will bring it back out to center in front of the benches. Avoids Bettini, gets to the Hawks zone, pulls up on the left wing boards, flips it into the slot, glove down by Townsend, and now he's hustling out to center, trying to get around a defender. Loftus, he's up the slot and shoots. He scores! What a goal by Teddy Townsend! Off to the races, dancing around Loftus and getting everything behind a shot to the top corner. Here come the Hawks, it's 5-1. A brilliant goal by Townsend. And that makes the lead as large as it's been. The Hawks by 4 with Townsend firing one up over the glove of Urban. That's number 9 this season for Teddy Townsend. And that one might be an unassisted goal from well inside of his own blue line where he knocked down the puck and then danced around the defender after getting control of it. 9:58 the time of the goal for Townsend. 5-1 Waterloo. The Musketeers dump it in. Phelan and Van Tassel, and Phelan getting to it behind the Hawk net. Rimming one to Thoresen, who's got a big game going. Thoresen with 3 assists. Taps it to the Musketeer line. Reversed, though, by Sioux City. Right back out to center. Fascia chases it down. Fascia back at his own blue line. Flipped it to Thoresen, trying to backhand it into the zone. It boomerangs right back to him, so he'll chop one into the right wing corner from the opposite wall. Brought back out to center by Jeffress. He got to the Hawk line. Phelan stopped him there. Kessler tries to advance it, rimmed it behind the Hawk net, but didn't find anybody in a friendly jersey. Came around the boards to Court. Kicked away from him by Fascia. And the Hawks advance it up the wall, but not out. Shot across the slot, and Phelan pursues. Getting there, and he got a stick up and hit Kessler, and he's going to get a penalty for that. Sioux City's about to go to a power play, and they will, with a high sticking penalty against Michael Phelan. 4th Sioux City power play of the game. 9:05 left to go in the third period. And the Blackhawks ahead 5-1 on the Teddy Townsend goal. Fortunately, that one caught the Musketeer player in the visor, and so no harm done, but a clear penalty against Phelan, and a Sioux City power play coming up. 5-1 Hawks will break and come back in 30 seconds on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
The Courtyard by Marriott in Waterloo is the place to fuel your passion when you visit the Cedar Valley. Built in the historic John Deere factory, the Courtyard by Marriott is a short walk away from the arena, the John Deere Tractor and Engine Museum, and more. Visit the official hotel of the Waterloo Blackhawks. The Courtyard by Marriott at 250 Westfield Avenue in Waterloo's vibrant downtown offers a state-of-the-art hotel experience while providing more flexibility and choices for their guests. Courtyard by Marriott, fueled by passion.
Well, from now through February the 29th, get more when you save on Blackhawks tickets. A voucher pack will get you 7 Waterloo game tickets. Order before February ends. You'll also get 2 bonus tickets for March the 8th and a puck signed by your favorite player. Find details and order from WaterlooBlackhawks.com. Teddy Townsend with the only goal of the third period, extending the Blackhawks lead to 5-1 on the Sioux City Musketeers. 9:05 to play in the third. Michael Phelan penalized for high sticking, so Sioux City to their 4th power play of the game. Their only goal was a power play goal, scored at 13:07 of the second. Kessler for the face-off. He pulls it back to Sam Court along the left wing boards. Comes off the wall toward the high slot. Reverses the puck back to Loftus to the side of the net, and then gets it right back from Tate Pritchard. Loftus back to Court at the right point. Court into the right circle for Martino. Tried to center. Knocked away by Reed, but collected again by Kessler behind the Blackhawk net. Kessler into the left corner for Pritchard. Back out to Loftus at the line. Then Court at the right point. Outside edge of the right circle, Martino. Then to Kessler. Moves in, flips it across, and it was blocked by Miller, who was down flat on the ice. Musketeers able to recover and get the puck back. 30 seconds into the power play. All spent in the Blackhawks zone so far. Martino juggles the puck, but gets it to lay flat for Loftus. Then back for Martino at the right faceoff dot for Kessler's side of the net. Moves back into the circle. Court had a one-time look. He didn't get the puck when he wanted it. Now has it. Then for Loftus. Across for a Kessler shot, and that went wide. Goes behind the Blackhawk net. Fished out by Miller. And Miller flips one into the Sioux City bench. Bad break there for Tyler Miller. The Hawks can change, but the faceoff's going to stay in the Waterloo zone, and the clock stops as well with a minute left on the Sioux City power play. 8:05 left in regulation. Hawks by 4, 5-1. The Hawks do in fact change with Thoresen and Morick, Fascia, and Delaney. Sioux City swapping power play lines as well. Nicholas had the primary assist on the Sioux City power play goal. He takes the face-off against Morick. And this one is controlled by Sioux City. Gardula challenged, though, along the boards, just fed it ahead blindly, and that's where he found Max Strand. So the Musketeers now able to get into formation on the power play. As it comes to the bottom of the right circle, Nicholas moves above the dots, fed it across Shahan. A shot, he scores. It went off of Spicer and in. And the Sioux City Musketeers have 2 goals in the game, both on the power play. USHL leading scorer Caden Shahan notching his 27th of the season. And Sioux City back to within 3 where the period began. 12-13 the time of the power play goal. That time the Musketeers got it back towards the top of the circle before sending it across. Usually they like to do it from the bottom of the circle, sending it across the edge of the crease. But that worked just as well with Shahan getting enough of that so that Spicer could not stop it. 5-2 with 7:47 left in regulation. Puck jousted up into the air court, trying to glove it down, and we've got a hand pass called. He did knock it to the ice with his glove and did not touch it before a Musketeers teammate got a stick to the puck, so down to 7:43 left in the third. Sioux City came in having won 5 of their last 6. The Blackhawks trying to make it 3 consecutive wins, all in the space of 7 days. Musketeers win the face-off. And turning across the Blackhawk line, Gunderson will skip it down toward the left wing corner. Reed gets to it, banks it back ahead. Butella tapped it out to center, but Jacobs took it away. Easton Jacobs to Cachero. His pass intercepted, though. And Kosiba now for Landon Nyes. Comes out of his own zone, avoids a couple of Musketeers, fed it ahead into the offensive zone. Morick, wrist shot, and that one went up and up out of play. And then the puck ends up in the net. The whistle sounded. Where did the puck go? It looks like it's going to be a good goal. Where did that puck go? I thought it was off of Urban into the protective netting, but it somehow ended up behind him in the goal. And this is going to require a review for sure. Gavin Nieto goes over and is going to take a look at it. The Hawks all pointed toward the net. Anyone that was in position to see that one come down and land behind Urban. And then all of a sudden the referee Nieto pointed. So the call on the ice here is a good goal, but I guess the question is, when did the whistle sound? Because it also seemed like the referee Nieto lost sight of the puck, thinking it was up and out of play and was stopping play. I don't know when the puck actually went in relative to when the whistle sounded. If it's a good goal, it'll be at 12:49, less than a minute after the Sioux City Musketeer power play goal. And it would be Reed Morick's unless it was redirected. It's a quick review. Gavin Nieto comes back out on the ice. No goal. It's washed out. And that is going to draw Nieto over to the Blackhawk bench. Morick leaned into his shot, and it may have been deflected by a high stick. The puck certainly ended up across the goal line, and the call on the ice appeared to be a good goal. We got the center ice view. Love to see the overhead look or the look from behind the net. I wonder if the whistle had something to do with that, if Nieto stopped play, because the play was not caused by a high stick. The faceoff's going to stay in the Sioux City zone. Perhaps maybe some question about whether that one got all the way up and hit the ceiling here. Matt Smaby is getting Nieto to come back over to the Blackhawk bench. If there was any indication that the puck was played by a high stick, the faceoff would come out of Sioux City territory, and that's not happening. So the ruling is no goal, and it remains a 5-2 Blackhawks lead. Well, hopefully the Blackhawks don't need that one in a game where they lead by 3 with a little more than 7 minutes left to go in the third. The draw in the Sioux City zone is poked below the icing line. Loftus goes left of the net for Van Tassel. He hurries up left wing to the Blackhawks zone, steers it down into the corner. Van Tassel after it, leaving it for Kessler. Rimming it back behind the net. It gets to Van Tassel on the end boards. Couldn't center, though, with Morick bearing down on him. Now Morick knocked to the ice. Jeffress looked like he may have gotten hit by a high stick there. Play continues. Puck shot out to the neutral zone. Tumanero couldn't hold it in. Kessler gets it back. Feeds it to Loftus, who scoops it down to the left wing corner. With under 7 minutes left to go in the third, the Hawks by 3. Townsend kicks one to Morick. Steers it back Townsend's way, trying to juggle it ahead. Jostled by Martino, but makes the dump in. Sioux City has defenders back in their own zone. Hansen rims it behind his net. And Kessler comes out right of the goal. Fed it ahead, missed Pritchard. Pushed the other way by Miller with one hand on his stick. He rolls it to the offensive zone, chased by Blair. Before he could get there, Hansen spiked it away out of the slot into the corner. The Musketeers clear. Just over 6 minutes left to go. Now snapped up the left wing boards into the zone and tracked down by Kosiba. Couldn't center it, though. And the Musketeers volley it back out to center. Strand against Miller to the Blackhawks zone. Knocked down. Puck in the corner. Taken by the Blackhawks. Miller banks it ahead. Butella on right wing. Backing down. Keefe got around the defender. Butella goes below the icing line. Centers it. And Strand intercepts as that one went back between the circles. Strand crisscrossing back out through neutral ice. Play is offside at the Blackhawk blue line with just under 6 minutes left to go in the third period. The Blackhawks ahead 5-2. Face-off will be just outside the Blackhawk blue line. NHL night at Peppers a week from Tuesday. Would have been this coming Tuesday, but instead it's going to be February the 13th from 5 to 6 p.m. Meet Blackhawks players. Have a chance to win some prizes and watch a lot of NHL hockey on February the 13th at Peppers Grill and Sports Pub on 18th Street in Cedar Falls. Hawks win a face-off. The Hawk captain Miles Hillman along the boards just outside of his line for Finn Williams, poking it down into the Sioux City zone. Sam Court retrieves, stops behind his net, plays it right at the goal for Shahan, who has the most recent goal. He clears it, but Nyes collected it at center, dumps it right back in, just wide of the net. And recovered by Nicholas, banking it off the end boards, taken away by Williams for Waterloo. Williams comes out to the top of the left wing circle, goes across rink wide for Reed. Along the right wing boards, backhands it into the corner, picked up by Miles Hillman, drops it back out, landed Nyes left point. Nyes to Williams. Williams moves left corner. Under 5 minutes left to go. Back to Nyes at the line. Long shot wide. Maybe intentionally looking for Hillman, but the puck was tipped. Hillman finds it in the right corner. Hillman out to the line for Reed. Scampers up the boards, leaned on by Gardula, but helped along now by Williams, who comes to pick it up. Williams centers one, redirected, and pushed out of the crease. Back to the line, not out. Nyes keeps it in. Nyes avoids a stick check, but then lost the puck out to center. Reed golfs it back into the offensive zone. The Hawks change with 4.5 minutes left to play in the third. Headman pass for Shahan at the Hawk line. Comes across for a drive. Spicer makes the save and holds on with 4:26 left to go in the third period. And the Hawks on top, 5-2. No move by the Musketeers to bring Urban to the bench. There is a stick that's out there behind the Sioux City net that no one's going to collect. Face off at Spicer's left side. And now Urban will oblige and go get that stick and sweep it halfway to the bench. And Craig Ford, the linesman, will help it along the rest of the way. So now we're ready to resume at Spicer's left side. Looks like the Musketeers would have to score one 5-on-5 or in some formation with Urban in net for him to be brought to the bench for an extra attacker situation. Face-off win and a quick chance missed the goal. Townsend back up the ice. He's got an insurance goal in the third period. Dumps it in. It's moved around the wall counterclockwise and now snapped out to center with Loftus fielding it, tapping it ahead, and jousted down into the Blackhawk zone where Fascia collects it ahead of Gunderson. Bettini had his stick slashed out of his hands. The Musketeers stopping, expecting there to be a penalty, but play continues. Now under 4 left to go in the third as it's sent back around the boards. And Phelan run over by Cachero. The puck back to the line. Loftus at the left point. Goes to the right side, and Mentz to the end wall. Cachero jostled by Fascia. Hawks get control of it. Phelan turning for Fascia. He slides it up the ice to Bettini, who has his stick back. Crosses the Sioux City line, avoiding Mentz. Knocked off balance. Still trying to tip a puck to Butella. Couldn't find it, but gets back up and has it again after being knocked down and now lost it. And here's Shahan up left wing out to center, taking on a couple of Hawks defenders. Buying time, drops it back. Gardula moves in and shoots. Knocked down by Spicer. Loose puck cleared to the line. Now out Hansen shooting. Save, rebound, flipped wide by Nicholas. Puck comes off the glass, and did it get up into the protected netting? It did. So play stops with 3:11 left to go in the third period. The draw will be beside the Blackhawk. Notice that one was deflected out. Spicer making one really good save, and then a solid stop. Rebound left free, and the Musketeers had their best chance on that second rebound, but sent one sailing out of play. And now we do have Urban to the bench, and it will be 6-on-5 with the Musketeers putting on some pressure in the last few shifts. And now trying to tighten that even more down on the Blackhawks. Despite the 3-goal margin, Musketeers win the draw. Shahan above the left wing circle. Traffic clears. Shahan sweeps it back to the deep slot. Hansen sweeps it into the right circle for Gardula, working back toward the line, then up the wall where he's got help, and now puck back to Gardula just as quickly. Dropped into the slot. Right to Thorson. He steals it, gives the puck to Mustard. Can he get a 4-goal game? 4 goals for John Mustard! 6-2 Hawks as Mustard scores into the empty net from the neutral zone. And John Mustard, having himself a night already, gets to add one more, another point for Gavin Thorson on the assist. He's got 4 of those in this game. The empty netter with 2:50 left to go. 17-10, the time of Mustard's 21st on the season and 4th of the night. Just the third 4-goal performance in the USHL as Mustard joins Cole Iserman and Joe Connor, who had the most recent one back on January the 12th. It's the first 4-goal game by a Blackhawk since Connor Brown did it in the playoffs against the Lincoln Stars in Lincoln back in April of 2022. Urban back in the net, the puck's back in play. It's in the Blackhawks zone along the boards at the right of Spicer. Hawks get it free, and now it's brought out to center by Blair. Peyton Blair crossing the Sioux City line, stops just inside the zone for Delaney. Then for Landon Nyes, comes off the left wing boards with it after the rink-wide pass behind the net. And Kosiba with it. Nicholas Kosiba back to Landon Nyes, snapped one toward the net, blocked, and the puck gets out to the neutral zone. Here's Kosiba stepping back in. Hawks trying to catch Sioux City in a change. Kosiba drops it back. A shot wide of the net. Goes behind the goal. Kosiba couldn't bring it in front. It trickles back to Felicio right point. Sends it across to Nyes. Snaps one toward the goal. Fought off by Urban. Puck to the corner on the left wing side. Butella bats it back. Nyes capped it in. Then was knocked off balance. And now it's a 2-on-1. Pritchard up the ice with Jacobs. Gives it to Jacobs. He tries to give it back and Pritchard shoots. Saved by Spicer, who covers it up outside the crease. Left of the post beside his net. Felicio may have been hit with a stick there as he was down trying to block a pass. Doesn't look like he's cut from here, but he goes straight to Blackhawk trainer Todd Klein for a look. 6-2 Waterloo. And Jack Spicer making some big saves here late in this one. Face off left of Spicer. 4-goal game for John Mustard with the empty netter adding to the big night. Musketeers win the draw. Hupka, left point, skips one into the corner for Pritchard on the left side. Works back out toward the line, hands off to Hupka on the way by. Avoids Townsend, moves to the side of the net, sent it across the crease to the opposite corner. Mentz now rims it behind the Blackhawk goal. Townsend stopped it up there. Delaney trying to help out. Townsend knocked down, and a centering feed. What a save by Spicer again on a stuff attempt by Martino. Pritchard gets it back for Sioux City, dropping it back, missed. Hupka slides down into the Musketeer zone with 1:15 left to play in the third. Urban plays it up the ice to Strand, crossing the Hawk line for Martino. Spins one in front, Spicer another save. Rebound swept out to the neutral zone. The Musketeers intercept. And now Keith goes up the ice. It's redirected into the Hawk zone by Jeffress with under a minute left to go in the third. Comes to Phelan, he let it go by, and Butella knocks it out to neutral ice. Goes down into the Sioux City end. To Monaro. Forced to turn. Avoids one challenge. Got his elbow up. Looked like he put that into Blair's chin. Got the puck out to center, but stopped up there. Has to go back to his own zone with under 40 seconds left to play in the third period, and the Hawks by 4. Now to Monero one more time. Crosses the center red line, comes into the Blackhawks zone, dropping it back for Van Tassel, then to Monero, left wing boards again, out to the right point, Keith, wrist shot blocked, loose puck, Kosiba finds it, turns out to center, trying to feed Butella, and then Kosiba's stick slashed out of his hands as he was trying to get back into the play, and the Blackhawks are going to go to one more power play. 6th of the game with 16 and a half seconds left to go as Keith is called for slashing, and with a 6-2 lead, the Blackhawks are going to have a motley crew for this power play. I don't know if any of these guys have even had practice time on the power play. Blair and Kosiba, each in their first weekend of Blackhawks hockey. Butella out there. Delaney and Phelan back at the line. 16 and a half seconds left to go in regulation. Keep in mind, these two teams see each other again on Tuesday. Kosiba for the draw, and he was able to pull it away from Gunderson, but it didn't get back to the line. Now Butella, a shot saved by Urban. Musketeers find it and scoop it out to center. It rolls back down into the Blackhawk zone, collected by Delaney. He's content to step behind the Blackhawk net. And go ahead, you can cue up the final horn at Young Arena. Hawks win! Waterloo wins 6-2 against the Sioux City Musketeers. They pick up a victory in the longest continuous rivalry. Over 300 regular season games between these two teams if you go all the way back to the senior era. And the Blackhawks win this one, meaning that they'll have a chance to even up this year's season series on Tuesday. All 3 games played between the two teams so far have been won by the home team. One more game between the Hawks and Musketeers this season on home ice at Young Arena on Tuesday night at 7:05. We hope you'll be here for it. We hope you'll stick around for our Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center post-game show after this break on the Courtyard by Marriott, Blackhawks Network, and 1650 The Fan.
Whatever your project and wherever you are, Karen's Print Right can handle all your printing needs under one roof. This is Blackhawks coach Matt Smith. From design to delivery, Karen's Print Right does it all. Forms or business cards for your office, invitations or envelopes for special events, yard signs, rubber stamps, screen printing, and so much more. Find all the details at karensprintwright.com, where you can also request a quote right from home. Karen's Print Right on Falls Avenue in Waterloo, and open online around the clock at karensprintwright.com.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at US Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Oh, coming through! Yeah.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Shop, donate, or volunteer to help Habitat for Humanity at the Restore in Waterloo. Whether you purchase or donate furniture, building materials, or appliances, you make it possible for families in Northeast Iowa to achieve home ownership in decent, affordable housing. Visit the Restore at 4107 Hammond Avenue in Waterloo. /Restore. Help Habitat do more. Shop the Restore in Waterloo.
Day 4,294, waiting for Domino's to finally put pepperoni in their delicious stuffed cheesy bread. 12 years of longing for a stuffed cheesy bread that's loaded with pepperoni.
Breaking news, Domino's just launched new pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread, and it's the perfect mouth-watering side for pepperoni lovers.
The wait is over!
Yes, it is, strange pepperoni lady.
The wait is over, pepperoni fans. Domino's irresistible pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread is finally here. And it's glorious.
This hockey season, give an assist to local charities with the 1650 campaign. In the community, make your donation of $16.50 at 1650thefan.com. This month's featured cause is the Tegan Damey ALD Medical Fund. The 1650 campaign, presented by and 1650 The Fan.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay full of color. Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Blackhawks hockey on 1650 The Fan.
The line of Gavin Lindberg, Gavin Thoresen, and John Mustard got the Blackhawks going. Their first shift of the game. The Blackhawks get a goal from that group, and they kept on scoring throughout the night, propelling the Hawks to a 6-2 victory over the Sioux City Musketeers, and in the process, propelling the Blackhawks into third place in the USHL's Western Conference. Welcome to our post-game coverage on the Courtyard by Marriott Blackhawks Network. This is the Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center post-game show. Cadillac Extreme Bowling Center offering a full arcade, laser tag. They've installed a scoring system allowing for a wider range of bowling games like hyper bowling, a whole new bowling experience. John Mustard matching his jersey number now with 21 goals on the season. Goals number 18, 19, 20, and 21 on this Saturday night at Young Arena. He obviously had a big hand in the 6-2 result, and we're going to tell you all about it now with our